right, welcome back, Mech Warriors, for yet another game of this round this week of the Mech Warrior Championship Series, run by MWO Comp. And today we have the Dark Sea Corsairs and or DSC and Vile Vigilance. And with me today, I have Mr. G-Ram and Mr. Teos. How are you guys?
I'm doing great.
Doing good.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, as we said earlier, this is the game, right? This is the game of, well, the week, the series so far. We expect that these teams are most likely going to be the ones in the finals as well. So it's the entree to the main event. And we also are moving, for the viewers at home, to a best of 7 today. From now on, for some of these matches, these more, I guess, end game final matches, it's not best of 5, it moves to a best of 7. So
yeah, I know that you already said that we kind of expected both these teams to maybe be in the finals. They definitely seem to be a notch above the rest and the strongest two teams, but we have had an upset in almost every year of CS for like the last 3-4 years, so definitely not impossible that whichever of these two teams drops into the lower bracket, that they get beaten by one of those teams down there.
that is also very true. It is. There's always been an upset, actually. Funnily enough, every
year there's an upset, right?
No, you're 100% spot on there. Now, thoughts on the teams, G-Ram? We've got about 5, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll try to be fast. So obviously, like DSC has a lot of previous EQ members on it. So I think I have a much better understanding of the DSC team. However, I want to say I haven't actually participated in any scrims with or against these teams. I haven't really seen them play. I will say this: Vile looked incredibly strong in ComQ. I mean, just their ComQ stats. To me, like, it's hard not to put them as the favorite in this match. But ComQ is different from an actual match. And what's interesting is, even though I think Vile's the favorite to win the entire tournament, they haven't actually won a tournament as Vile, I don't think. Like, the Vile team has not won a single tournament.
Nope.
This year, I think it was DSC won, was it the first tournament? I can't remember if it was like TOS or whatever. And then I think Fidelis won the next two, something like that. But yeah, I don't think Vile has won one. So very interesting. But yeah, their ComQ stats, their ComQ play looked very impressive. And I think that, to me, that already set the pace, because if it's an even game, if it's just a straight up trade game, I think I have to favor Vile. So to me, I'm really going to be looking at DSC. How are they going to strat these games out? Because if they're maybe not favored and, out shooting them, playing a standard game, then maybe they can outsmart them. That is definitely on the table. And I think these maps leave a lot of play for that.
It feels really weird to describe a team led by an EMP player with so many former EMP players on that team as the younger team. But yeah, I think that DSC definitely has a lot more of the age advantage. They've been playing together a lot longer, and you are right, Vile has had a very shaky start, but they have definitely gotten their act together. I know Chimera has clamped down on the team at Law with a very he's grown into a mentality of, okay, this is do or die. We need to actually get our shit together. So I'm a little curious that I feel like Vile is kind of the challengers here. Even though this is the first time both teams have like really shown up in finals, I do feel like DSC does have a little bit more of, I don't want to call it incumbency, but a lot of DSC players are coming off of Equilibrium, which, as we all know, won CS 2023. So they are coming to defend their title, even if they're not on the same team.
Yeah, really interesting dynamic. Obviously, Vile does have some of the most experienced players in the entire game, though. And I know I mentioned, like, oh, maybe DSC can outsmart them, but Vile has some really, really smart brains. I mean, like, I know Bowser is incredibly smart and understands the game very well. Chimera as well. He even played on Fidelis with me for one of the tournaments, and very smart, very good understanding of the game. I think that...
Yeah.
No, go ahead, Dash. Go ahead.
The one thing that's missing is that the DSC, or the team combination with Ghosty, Stimrug, stuff like that. I think DSC are the team that is going to pull out the more weird things, the odd little things here or there, the odd plays, Those little spots. We've seen the DSC spot on Terra to deny Kappa, where Ghosty sits like way back with that Hunchback 2C. Those sort of small little things can twist a game, and that will keep Vile busy. Where I think Vile is more the very structured. We've practiced this. We know what it is, and then DSC will be bringing that little spice add to each match, and these little spots here and there that can really cause problems and really change games.
So, can I just make a quick prediction? The stuff that we've already said, both these teams can probably come to the same conclusions, right? Obviously, they probably know each other better than we know them at this point because they probably scrimmed a decent amount. But I just want to say, I predict Vile is going to straight up push one drop, because if you think the enemy team is not going to beat you in a straight match, and that they're going to try to outstrat you, the simplest way to distill a match down to just skill is to just push. So I'd be very surprised if Vile does not push once. Just a prediction of mine.
Yep.
I can see it.
Yep. One of those maps where you get that opportunity to do that count. Yeah. Not like the Mantra, the really crazy sort of Mantra stuff, although they played completely standard today and really gave 228 a good workout. If you expect there might be some funky business, just eliminate it. Make them come to you.
100%. I'm thinking Bog might be the safest map to push. Maybe?
Bog,
I don't know.
definitely a pretty safe map. I think that Terra, like mid-range push through the center, is a tried and true strategy.
We haven't seen that yet, have we? Have we seen that? Right, the mid-range Terra push? I don't think we have through the middle yet. Yeah.
Really? We've seen FJRD run it and KDCM run it against each other. But that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's more of a kind of a mashing in the middle, right? It's not really one aggressing the other so much. It was more of a let's just crash into each other with two tidal waves and see what happens.
I definitely think that used to be a common strategy on this map, was to run like Daka, like Sleipnir, for example, like those type of mechs, and push through the center and outgun your opponent. But yeah, I mean, not really in meta super right now, but I just do predict that if they came to the same conclusion we are, that's just the simplest way to try to get around funny business. If you think that the enemy team's going to try some weird stuff, oftentimes that just crumbles to a push because they're out of position and they're trying to do too much on the map at once, right? Or they're bringing too much trade, or list goes on. And
yeah,
so
you're trying to be
to a push.
Too busy. Too much busy is too much work, essentially, right?
Yeah, now, but I could also be the other way around. Maybe DSC will push. I don't know.
Well, that's also true, right? They might be thinking, Vile are going to set up here, but we won't let them do that. We'll, like you said, do the opposite. Go at them, upset them in that way. Now,
it would be pretty crazy. To me might be a little more adverse to a push.
I think so. I think that DSC are going to be more stratty overall.
We'll say both these teams have pushed in the tournaments throughout this year, though. Both of them, and honestly, I think they both had very good results pushing too.
Okay.
I know. I'm pretty sure Vile pushed the DSC on Canyon Network, like 2 drops in a row. Earlier, I can't remember which tournament that was. I think it might have been the 5 vs 5. And I know DSC has definitely done pushes, especially early on in the year against Vile, and they've won those pushes. Ceramic Scrapyard? Is that the name of the map? Comes to mind, where DSC definitely pushed Vile twice, and they won both those drops. So I would be very surprised if neither of these teams push. But maybe they pushed each other in scrims and it hasn't worked out. So
we have reached the top of the hour, though. So I think it's time to start the map ban to see.
I was saying, let's ban away and let's get into it. Have a look, see where these teams are going to take us today. Now we just have to wait. The map ban thing is always you just have to sit.
For those who don't know, because this is the first best of 7 round we've had this year, the map ban will determine games 1 through 5, and then for 6 and 7, the teams will take turn picking which maps they want. DSC picks HVG right off the bat, and I think that's a very safe pick, because that means if you choose the map, your opposing team gets to pick the side. And HPG, it doesn't matter what side you are. Vile picks Frozen, though. That's interesting. That means that they're fine on both sides, which I would say Frozen is a very asim map, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm very surprised to hear that because to me, Frozen's the most important map to get the Team 1 on. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to play Team 2
DSC
Frozen.
picks, yeah.
Or
Yeah, team two's rough. DSC picks Bog, Vile picks Bear, and Terra Therma will be drop 5. It's a little weird. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just still thrown off by picking Frozen right off the bat. That to me, that signals that Vile is so much more confident in their trade plays that they are willing to get a worse side on that map.
Or they could be playing
Yeah.
for another map further down, some specific map side on Bog or Terra perhaps, and giving up Frozen as bit of
Yeah, that's true.
lobby, mini game in the lobby perhaps. So like, well, if Frozen doesn't matter to us, maybe we want these two selections on these other two maps to take it away from DSC potentially from doing something sneaky on Terra perhaps.
Yeah, that could make complete sense.
Now, where are we?
DSC will be team 1. Oh, interesting. Okay, so then DSC will be that's DSC will be team 2 on Frozen, right?
Yep.
Am I reading that
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Really?
Wow, that's
They chose team 2?
That is, I'm okay. You want to be shocked? Okay, now I'm shocked.
Yeah, I guess that I'm outside of the man. I mean, these teams know better than me what the meta is for these maps. They've been playing at them, and today, you don't hide anything. This is winner's bracket. Like the team that wins this goes to the grand final, and they have to be beaten twice. So you bust out all your strats today. So
yeah,
they know something we don't. If they're choosing that side, they have something cooked up.
And DSC are mostly team 2 for most of the games here today.
1, 2, 1, 2, 2.
Very interesting.
So, but I am.
All right.
Terra also kind of worries me. Actually, no. We don't get to see which team chose Terra. So, but Bog and HPG, I'm not too concerned about the sides. Their sides are mostly predictable. DSC chose team 2, the south side, which makes me think that they want to be a little more Epsilon heavy on Bear Claw, but yeah, this is going to be a weird one.
My understanding is top seed gets to choose the side for the last map. And I believe that was the higher seed because they did better in
Yeah,
CompQ,
DSC
right?
is higher, I think, according to the ticket. No, I think it's been on the tournament, not the comp queue.
Yeah.
Looking at the ticket, DSC have got the higher.
DSC started in the higher seed bracket just from how the comp queue seeding worked out.
Interesting. I would think that Vile would be the highest seed because they did the best. It seems like it would maybe an error on tournament.
It's a little weird.
I think it's the bracket.
But yeah, so if I pull up the map strat, I need to pull up Terra real quick to remind myself. No, I'm pulling up Terra to see which team DSC chose.
Oh.
DSC chose team 2, which means that they're probably doing the Kappa Gamma Sigma hold on Terra, which, if you watch the 2 to 8 match about 2 hours ago, I'm very passionate about that strat. And I will say that DSC is one of the few teams I have seen that pull off that strat almost perfectly. So I would say that they're probably feeling very comfortable on Terra.
Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely think that Team 2 has that more straightforward path to victory on Terra. Yeah. So probably not going to see a push from them on if they're choosing Team 2, I would guess. Probably exactly like you said, going to see that Kappa Gamma and then look for Sigma or Theta, depending on how their opponents are set up.
All right, now we are over on the HBG. What do you think is going to happen here? Because both of these teams have generally not gone near the basement very early on. So they've kind of done like a 2-cap middle thing.
This map is so interesting because of that basement, right? So it's who brings more to the basement to get it at the beginning? Like that sets the entire tone of the match, and you want just a little bit more to get Theta, But if you have no trade,
overcommit, then your bigs on the wall are then at risk of being jumped. HPG is so weird how it's so straightforward, and yet it's all about the balance of how much you send to commit.
I mean, you can push on this map too. You can push like ER large on the wall with a full brawl, like 5-man on the low ground. You can do mid-range push underneath and shoot up at the wall when you come like through like Echo 5, Delta 5, depending on which side you are. I think the best way to handle this, at least in my opinion, is probably have like a Pop-Tart that can shift in and out of the basement to help your wolf pack control it. And so you have that extra mech compared to their wolf pack. And then if they put a big down there, then you just play for the walls instead, and you don't mess with Theta. That's probably like the safest way to do it.
Well, we've
I don't
seen
know if either of these teams
DSC
will do
have
that.
had that Pop-Tart. It's either the Jenna or I think it's a Phoenix Hawk or something like that. Or they've had a couple that can sort of, jump and pop around. And Stim's been in that Narc Jenna a bit as well on HPG,
Yeah.
like consistently. So
Have we seen a lot of ERPPC though? Because
No.
those mechs you described, they can't reach the walls. You know, they
We
can't
haven't seen a lot of
Pop-Tart
ERPs, but we have seen a lot of Plasma AP Goss Shadowcats, which sort of harass the wall a bit. DSC also really loves to put a mid-vom mech in the center, whether it be an Executioner or Longbow Overcharge. That'll also sort of work the enemy wall mechs along with burning the legs of any enemy lights that are in the center. But DSC hasn't really flanked on the wall as much as they've just sent lights to kill their enemy bigs if they feel that they're isolated. They love to send a Viper, Mistlink, Shadowcat, whatever, anything that can make the jump from the front. They love to send a light to try to stall or kill their enemy big. But beyond that, they don't really
So
spend too
we've-
much time on the wall.
we've got DSC that
That
have
makes
locked in. And look at the Lancers, guys. And the players that are in the Lancers.
Yeah, Bravo Charlie heavy with one. I'm assuming that's a cap mech with Simrog to grab Epsi.
Yeah, nothing on the B6 side of the ramp in Alpha to go up that Alpha that B6 ramp. Nothing.
Honestly, what this looks like to me is that they're definitely looking at Theta because Bravo is the fastest spawn by a good margin to get to Theta. So I would expect that Simrog is going to grab Epsi, and all four of those mechs in Bravo are going to go straight to Theta, and then maybe like two mechs are going to climb up to Delta 6.
Yeah, they're going to have two mechs you would think fairly close in this Delta 6 region, right? If they're so heavy, Bravo, Charlie. It kind of wouldn't make too much sense to put someone in Bravo and then walk them all the way. There we go, just draw on the map, like across up there. It's, just takes longer. It simply takes you longer.
Only thing I can think of, like the other, only other thing I can think, EQ ran a strat that had lances, I think exactly like this, where they wrapped with fast ER large mechs on the wall, like this, and pushed underneath and then came up out of this with like full brawl lights and mediums. And
Actually, I remember
I guess
that.
the lances would make sense for that as well.
Mhm.
But MPG generally a light mech, not assault, so I don't think that's what they're doing.
We've also got Vile here quickly that have just locked in. Pretty spread, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, pretty standard. And have a look at the player names. It's going to be, very, very sort of standard there. And we're both at 480 tons for both teams. Now they're ready to go. So without further ado, let's launch the game and get into it. Drop number 1. Oh boy. Oh boy. I am so ready for this. Hope everyone at home is ready for it as well, because I most certainly am. I'll fly and zoom over to team 1 if one of you guys, Mr. Tios, wants to do the team 2 when we get to that point.
Yes, give me one sec.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Loading. Here we are. Okay. So what do we have on the, very quickly before the mechs drop in? Crusader, Osiris, SR2, Javelin 11F, Overcharge, Viper, Spider, and Direwolf. Well, we know the Overcharge is going to be that quick laser bomb up to the middle. So that's, I think it's 2 people on the wall and everyone else in the middle, at least at this stage.
Yep,
yeah, and that must be for DSC then.
Yeah, and then for Vile, we are seeing a Shadowcat, a Flea, an Adder Warthog, a Stone Rhino 6, a Crusader 6T, a Jenner 2C2, an Executioner M, and a Stalker. So, Stone Rhino probably mid-vom. Let me pull up their build real quick. And then
If it's the 6,
XC
I
is
would
probably
think so.
ER
Yeah.
large and micros. Stalker is definitely ER large. So the Chimera is running 4 large pulse, 7 ER meds on his Stone Rhino. Bowser's running an AP Goss adder. XC is ER large and ER micros.
Ooh.
The Crusader is mid-vom, large pulse, ER meds, and smalls.
Funny you mention ERPPCs, Mr. G Ram, because we have 2 of them on MPG's Crusader.
I think that
Very interesting.
I just want to point out that Warhog, it's very slow, but man, that's going to be strong in the basement. I
It's
think
frail
it is going to be hard
too,
to defend.
but it can absolutely mollywop a light. In fact, even if a light over twists for a second, it can one shot any light from the rear. I would say that Vile's deck is definitely a bit more range heavy. I mean, sorry, a bit more mid range heavy. DSC, if they can force a range engagement, they might be at a greater advantage. But
Well, the Shadowcat actually
Little
for
concerned.
Vile here is ER Peeps, not the standard Plasma stuff. So that's interesting. And you've also got over the back corner here, DSC just setting up to go that high wall side, that high with the
Look
overcharge
what's
as well.
happening, though. Look at the push that they're doing on DSC side. Look
Yep.
at this. They're going for a gank on the
Yep.
wall.
And
they are going to Konglord is backing out, and I think Lizzie's aware. I think they're all pulling out.
yep, Lizzie already
Kong
knows.
is off UAV, so he sees them. Bile is, I think, mobilizing to maybe hold Sigma, but they've sort of cleared everybody who's at risk. Lizzie had to drop though. That hurts.
Chimera is taking quite a bit of damage there from some of those range mechs, and returning fire definitely over 1,000 meters there at that point. Vile reacted quite quickly to that. It's now a question of what do they do?
Look at the
Chimera may be
positioning now,
moving
though.
to Theta.
Yep.
I don't know. Chimera trading at that range doesn't feel good, seeing as he's large pulse and ER meds. He's definitely at a huge disadvantage here. DSC might be pulling back.
Yes, they are. They've gone to that corner.
I think they're making a play for Theta now that
They
Vile
are.
is pulled
Yep.
back.
Yeah, they're going under.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. But DSC's got to be careful. Hollow is overextending a bit, I think, and they're when they're aggressively placed on this wall, they are like, yeah, they can get shots on if they want, but they can also get shot out from multiple angles. And you're seeing the pressure that Kong is putting on.
Yeah. Well, you've got Selith and Kong right over the back there. Hollow, like you said, is going to be kind of going to be locked in here. He's going to have to drop off at some point, I think.
They do not have an answer for this ERPPC Shadowcat. That is such a good position for him. He's just getting free damage.
Yep, free damage on
Vile is
Basalt
sending
as well.
4 mechs down to Theta. Stimrog's alone. He needs to get the hell out of Dodge.
Let me
Stimrog
see.
might be legged here before he gets out.
Have a quick look.
Okay, he's still. Oh nope, he's gone.
Oh,
Yeah,
and he's taken a lot of leg damage for that though. One of those legs
his
is
leg is
almost
broken.
ripped off. Yep.
Great shot by Leprechaun there at the end to open that leg.
Yeah, that Shadowcat is
These
still
lights can't
causing
rotate
problems.
out easily. They have to go around the back. They can't come out this.
Man, Basalt shot down, did he? I think.
DSC is
back
going
out.
to make a run for Scout Derek and
Lizzie, yep.
Lizzie trying to focus down the legs on the Crusader. Scout Derek is legged.
Derek
he's
is
down.
down, but Vile have reacted in
Man's leg.
force
Vile's
here.
lights have come back. Chicken Man's legged.
Oh,
It
dear.
is Osiris.
Yeah, they're going after Lizzie's legs here as well. Open but not dead. Open but not dead. Lost one
Lizzie's
leg.
legged.
House is
Oh.
legged.
Oh, house
House
goes
is
down. Yeah,
House is
Chicken,
backing out.
Chicken Man won't take long
Chicken
to
Man's just
die.
fighting for his life. Chicken Man goes down.
And Lizzie is
I'm a
shut
little
down, but
surprised
he's
that-
alive.
I'm a
Oh,
little
dear.
surprised that DSC didn't take that opportunity to get Theta back.
This is your chance to win the
MPG's
game,
about
though,
to jump
MPG.
Chimera.
This is it. They need this kill right now. MPG's got to get this kill.
If MPG can drop Chimera, that's a huge
Yep.
win. Chimera's open and cherry both
Shut down.
sides. MPG
Oh.
over
Shut down.
yo,
That's a disaster. That's
Yep.
a disaster. They
just
need this
barely
kill.
able to twist off the shot. Chimera's halved.
Chimera's getting
Stimrog's coming in to get the
crossfired
kill.
from everywhere there.
Basalt's already dead at this point.
Assault's about to go down. Yep.
The numbers are in favor just slightly for Vile at the moment, percentage-wise, after
All is about to
the
get jumped.
DSC lights
Be
have kind of
honest.
gotten nuked a bit here.
Neon Deer is so far back. She needs a back shot on this flea or something to bring this game back for her team.
I think this is a Vile win. Hollow's about to go down.
And fearing is
Bowser
PG is
dropped
going,
him.
and Simrock are getting Theta.
and fearing is open CT and just alive at the back here, just being very, very careful. And now it's
I'm not gonna
Vile.
say it's over because
Ooh.
because Vile's down to almost entirely lights, and I don't think there's a mech as suited for killing lights as the Crusader 6T. If MPG can pull off some godlike shots here, he may be
No,
able
they're
to.
running. He's running.
eke
I
out
think
a
he
win.
knows. I think he knows they're outnumbered there. And the Spider's also weak on that
Yeah.
leg, don't forget. So the Spider has to. The
Bowser-
Spider can't stay.
And Bowser's about to hit Yandere from behind.
Oh wow.
playing the long
she-
shot.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know how she missed him rotating on the low ground.
Up
like
the
that.
ramp, yeah. No idea. That. Oh dear. That's a busy direwolf now. Let them fight it out. I think Bowser should win that. And now,
Yeah.
yep. And now Bowser. Sorry, MPG has been legged over the back here. Oh, sorry, no, torsoed actually. Sorry. And there's 3 of the Vile lights here. Bowser's going to roll in to be 4, and only Stimrag left with 1 very, very nearly dead leg and 1 almost nearly very dead leg.
So
Wow, that was busy.
I know it's a lot to put the onus of win or loss on one player, but I think Konglort getting the wide angles with those peeps kind of won them the match. I think that
Absolutely.
Yep.
yeah, I think the amount of deterrence he pulled on DSC's flank was
Look at the
invaluable.
numbers. There we go. Run through the damage numbers.
They're getting 638 in the Dire. Makes sense. She was just farming all game. Konglord getting 534 in the 2 ER Peep Shadowcat, which is honestly huge. Derek getting 72 damage in the Crusader. Even though he got jumped super early, that doesn't ever feel good. But all things considered, the damage is pretty good across the board.
Yep.
I definitely think that Shadowcat was the key because it really forced DSC to make a move they didn't want to make. They did not want to have to jump into the backline like that into F3. But they were bleeding, so they had to make a move because that longbow was just getting farmed.
Yep.
by
And the Stone Rhino as well. Just both of them just getting out harassed. Like there's just not much you can do about that. Yeah. Great mech pick there. From Vile, actually. Very, very good mech pick and good movement to move that far back and just be an absolute bloody pest. Let's be honest. That's what that Shadowcat is. It's just stealing your armor bit by bit by bit. Flipped over to the map.
It's not really a mech that you can devote a lot of time to. Like if you try to send a light to kill it, that's honestly a losing play.
Do you want to have a bit of a doodle on the map strat there, guys, for me? I'll just move this lobby and everything around.
I'm trying to think what Vile could have changed or done mid-match in order to win that game. Or not.
DSC?
Or not Vile. DSC. Sorry, I'm getting my teams mixed up. But maybe if they spent less time committing to Theta? I don't know.
I think what you just have to recognize that the Shadowcat's going to harass you on the wall position isn't viable. Just drop. Like you're not fully committed to staying up on that wall. You don't have to die up there. I think it would have been absolutely fine for both of them to just drop and play FC Theta Gamma, because at that point, the only trader from Vile that was up on the high ground was the Exi. And if the other mechs want to rotate up on the high ground, that's going to take a lot of time, and they're going to have to move up on the wall to try to get one of your back cats. I really think that they should have just changed their plan once they started getting harassed by that Shadowcat, dropped towards Theta, and just played for FC Gamma Theta with their assaults being more towards the middle. With Vile's mechs all kind of being bunched up in like Fox 3 back here on the low ground.
Yeah, there was a couple sort of caught
true,
in
but I
there,
think-
and then Chimera was sort of stuck in the end, and I think it was essentially a case of just sell Chimera, kill everything else. Like when you're kind of stuck by that point.
His lights were like on the ball, and MPG also shut down, so it took like even longer to get that Chimera kill, and he got some damage out as well before he died. When, in my opinion, should have been like a clean kill with like no damage taken, and that Crusader should have been able to reconnect and get over to his teammates before they died.
Because we had the DSC guys come out here and then in the end get essentially pushed back into Theta because they weren't able to quite capitalize where we had what was it, Vile sort of fall back into this region and into this region sort of here very, very quickly. Like Lizzie dropped off that wall, like click your fingers, snap, done, get out of there. That was very, very good scouting on the Vile behalf there, I think, for sure. I don't know whoever, whether Shadowcat spotted it or whatever, but yeah, very, very quick.
No, I definitely think they got a little bit spooked. Vile got a little bit spooked, and they played it really safe by dropping from the wall.
Yep.
Honestly, don't think they needed to drop from the wall that quick, but I think that kind of just shows their mentality of like, okay, they're pushing us, they're doing something unexpected. Play it safe, keep cool, and we'll just outplay them. And in that drop, they did. And their willingness to drop from the wall early is paralleled, but not paralleled, but the opposite of paralleled by DSC's unwillingness to. Because when you have that Shadowcat harassing you endlessly, you got to change your plan. Rather than just, rather than just pulling the trigger and just all inning, making that play, it would have been better to change your plan, take it slower, drop off the wall, and just match them on the low ground, and try to play a cap game out still. But obviously, that wasn't the call. They decided to go for it, and it was just too deep, where the traders couldn't really help them. Couldn't connect with them fast enough.
Well, Frozen guys, Team 1, Vile, Team 2, DSC, and DSC picked this too, right? So what do you think is going to happen and how is this one going to play out?
All right, so
if you chose Team 2, oh, sorry.
Yeah, chose Team 2. That's the thing, right? You've chosen
me and you are on the same page, Tios, I think. I was just going to explain why Team 1 is generally considered super favored. Is that really this D5 spot. You get there really fast and you have great lines on the Theta. Team 2 getting Theta early game is just not a thing. That literally cannot happen if Team 1 is not AFK, basically. So Team 1 has much better access to Theta. And in my opinion, generally is safer from any sort of aggression because they can pull back into like D5, even C5. And there's this large open area that teams would have to push across in order to get to them. Or down here in this goalie down here, I'll hide and yell. So it's really hard to push them. It's harder to push Team 1 from Team 2. So the fact that DSC took Team 2, I actually have an interesting way that I've thought about winning this map on Team 2 that I actually EQ did do some scrims with over a year ago, I guess at this point, almost 2 years ago, is instead of trying to divide the map in the normal way of north and south, what if you try to divide it the other way, right? East and West hemisphere. Mm-hmm. And I'm hoping that DSC, just because I want to see it, I hope they refined an idea from 2 years ago and they send traders through the tunnel and set up an E3. I would love to see that because this E3 high ground up here has amazing lines. You trap whatever's on D5, you get there unexpectedly. And you have great lines over anything that could see Theta from the other side. So then it becomes a much more even game. If you can get set up and treat it like an east-west, it's actually very even. In fact, I actually favor the west side if you can manage to do that. And I think after that last game, Vile's response to not scouting assaults and having lights and mediums maybe, pushing aggressively over the ship into E4, I think they would pull back, which would be the wrong play against that sort of tunnel push with traders. But yeah, just something I haven't had in mind that I would love to see. What do you guys think?
I actually think that you are 100% correct. The only time, in my opinion, the only time a team would really want Team 2, well, there's actually two options. One, you want to just do a hard upper city push like that, of which I do not see DSC ever doing a hard upper city push like that, mainly because I don't think it's a good strat. But I do think that there is a very solid play to be had in just Kappa in Kappa Sigma, ignoring the 7 line entirely and trying to split the map, as you said, east-west. And I don't think a 3 cap is early attainable for Team 2. I think that DSC is going to have to play hard for kills just because you just don't get to Theta in time.
I've got one quick one.
It's just so much closer.
Because these guys are locking in right now. Very bravo Charlie Heavy, by the way, for DSC. Let me just add, and this is where I'm going with this. as we saw last week, FJRD did a push up here into Vile, caused them quite a bit of problem. It would have gone better if they brought the right mechs and the right decks to push with, because in the end they weren't and they were out of sync, and gave Vile a really, really good scare. And I mean a good scare because there was only 2 or 3 Vile mechs left alive. So maybe they've seen that, worked on something left field-ish and kind of not replicate what FJR did, but sort of a similar thing, just do it a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, I think only one mech being alpha and it being wipeout means my strat is out the window. It's definitely not that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have cooked up.
God damn, I was not on the map strat at all during that. Oh my goodness. Sorry, everybody at home. When we get to that, I made a complete mistake. I was on the wrong screen. Oh, goodness me. Hopefully you guys were showing it on your channels, which you probably were. Whoops. Anyway, that's so shit.
Oh yeah, I actually wasn't showing on mine either.
Oh no, I
Success is
complete
covered.
mistake. We're too busy too deep.
I got it. We're good.
You had it?
We're good.
Okay.
We're good.
All right.
Oh, thank God. Well, we can run through the map strat at the end with actually what happened after this game, because we are getting in, launching, and we'll see what happens. I'll hit up the team 1 again, and then, well, actually, I'm already there. Oh, that's easy. Makes my life very easy. Oh,
MWO allows me to hop in. There we go.
look at. I mean, I can already just see looking at the DSE mechs here. It is an all-out, 100% maximum attack W key. I think they might actually be coming up the guts. There's no trader
Are they
here.
gonna do what I want to say? This is what Mantra did in invitationals against Fidelis. Was just run up the center right over Theta, of which I'm honestly not sure which route is better than Upper City.
Yeah,
okay.
no, it is. I mean, Gokamish, Hunchby Forest P, I mean, maximum survival, right? Charger, Stormcrow, Skull. This is W. Absolute maximum attack. Yeah, okay, this is going to be interesting.
I'm a little concerned by some of these picks.
I like it. Something a bit different. Shake up the standard mechs that we see every single drop. I like this.
I don't think this push should work.
How good is it going to be?
Right?
I don't know.
No, it should not. Vile with a Battle Master, a Stone Rhino 6, XCM, they are so geared to farm this. DSC's just running straight over Theta. I'm curious what route they'll take because this is no man's land. There's no cover here.
We'll see.
I'm going to have a quick look at the
I think Vile
DSC
definitely
builds
has
as
a
well.
deck cable.
Proto AC4s on the adder. Woo!
Oh,
Ooh!
boy.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
Maybe
One for
there's
84,
some
11
giant
AP.
cooldown quirks in the single
Oh,
ballistic
it's a
arm.
brawl skull too. Oh, I love that. I've used that in quick play. It is so fun. Oh my God. And look at that. The DSC are straight in up over the ship. So they've, rather than go to the
Chicken
right
Man is
side,
getting
They-
so farmed.
they have
no,
gone
actually,
to the
he's doing
left.
Mostly fine.
I mean, it's really spread. They're not going legs actually. Oh,
No.
maybe now they are. Okay, they're
Oh,
going legs on PG, but
yeah, it looked like maybe it was a bit more. It's hard to tell on Chicken Man what they were shooting. It's kind of spread everywhere. But Vile have reacted pretty quickly. Look at that. Look at where they're moving everywhere, and the lights are coming in to the right side flank of DSC here.
they barely got any distance. They did such a long arc. This looks terrible for DSC so far, but maybe they're gonna start catching right now.
Oh, Sal's
Magic's
shut down.
lagged.
Sal cooked himself with the beamies. I think that's not good. So straight in. Leprechaun is
Magic
already
is
a straight
dead.
RPG. Yep.
Follows in, hitting Kong Lord in the Battle Master. Chicken Man is almost dead. He's one touch CT.
Oh, Basalt shows his butt. Oh no, that's not good. Hollow
Kong
is
is legged. Kong goes down.
running
Oh
around.
no, Kong is still up.
No, Chicken Man gets down.
Lizzie
Lizzie
goes down.
Yeah, Basalt gets Kong in the end there. Now DSC are kind of running
Oh
around the
my-
back of this building here, right on top of the the Gamma cap point. Oh, Longbow CT, one touch, one tickle. This has not gone well. This has not gone well at all for DSC. A lot of
Hollow
butts.
kills Derek.
A lot of
Dubix,
butts.
though, that's huge. That's huge. Dubix goes down.
Chimera's legged. Chimera's just playing for his life.
Okay.
Hollow does get Chimera.
Okay, wait. This
Oh.
is winnable. This is winnable.
Wait.
Teloth is just standing
Okay.
still, farming. Just
House needs to move back
spewing-
to Stimrock. House cannot get
just
caught
spewing
alone.
damage.
Yeah, the problem is like if the lights
Oh,
from
man.
Vile play this right, it should never be a win because they should always be able to avoid Stimrog and play 2 other caps.
Yep.
Like,
The
really.
lights should be ready to run and cap. House is. Are we gonna have a bit of a flea duel here?
No, I think Vile, by the look of it, are kind of saying, well, hey, look, the adder's legged. Let's just go everywhere else, and we'll be able to win on the caps. I mean, you can't
100%.
not.
That's what you do. This game should be over. Honestly, a lot closer than I expected.
Yep, same. I agree.
Yes.
Yep. That was
so, I
very
think
much
the
Vile.
only way this works is if they manage to catch somebody off guard. Are they coming back to fight for Gamma?
They are.
No.
Oh no, you know why? Because the Incubus can beam the adder relatively safely. Relatively safely.
Yeah. I think they're just also getting scouting info. Like they want to make sure that the adder's there.
Oh wow,
And now they're
Salas
just
is
getting that
completely
trigger
fresh.
rotate.
So
Completely fresh. Oh wow.
the fact that House didn't get Gamma worries me.
I mean,
But-
you need to look for kills, kind of. But yeah.
Yeah,
this is
I
going-
guess.
Oh
can
wow,
leg
House
one
just got magged, like magged in the CT. It is orange already
Yeah.
from that. Bang, just God, they hurt.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Dim is getting Gamma. If House gets Epsilon,
Well, it's 2 cap, right? And then Vile have to go all the way to Kappa or come back
You're
and
never
fight.
gonna get Theta though. Here's the thing: like with the beam lasers, you're never gonna get Theta from Vile.
yeah, it's
House.
true.
Like
So-
it's actually pretty hopeless.
Yeah, Salah could essentially sit up
Yeah.
on the hill here above Theta, overwatch it. Leprechaun goes, grabs the other 2 caps, then essentially use the Incubus as the Theta control mech. Now,
That's exactly what you
Yeah.
do. And honestly, there's
This is
just no
pretty
answer
much
to it.
Vile's game to lose. I don't. If they do a critical misplay, maybe, but
I mean, here's the thing: it is 8 mag shots on a fleet. I just want to throw this out there because I have seen crazy things before. If House can headshot one of these 2 mechs,
yep.
instantly the
That's
game
true.
can go in their favor again.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
Definitely-
Salith does have no head armor, which that's a ballsy thing to do in comp.
I'm sure the fleet
Uh,
only has like 1 armor as well
Hmm.
if it has head armor. So like he will headshot either of them if he gets.
Or did that
headshot.
airstrike? Did that airstrike just hit Stim? I don't know if it did or not.
So here's the thing.
Oops.
If Stim can get Gamma and House can get Theta, Stim can deny both with his adder, which means that they might be able to force a fight.
Now here comes the Theta, right? Here
But-
comes the Theta tickle.
It's just not gonna happen. House needs to give this up and like you need to look for a kill. It's just you're never gonna.
Oh, so House of CT is even slightly more burnt now as well. So there's not a lot of armor on that CT for that flea. And now Vile have a 3 cap to none.
Yeah, it seems
he-
that DSC's play is to try to eliminate a light in order to make it 1 light on the field, and then they can cap games safely. Leprechaun is coming back, so House very wisely pulls out, but
Yeah, but like he needed to go earlier. You need to do.
And Stim is in the open now and getting beamed. That's not
the
good.
longer this goes,
That's not good.
the-
Oh!
Leprechaun
I
gets
was
a
looking at the wrong mech.
perfect flank, and
Oh,
that's
torsoed
it.
him.
That's
He torsoed
GG's.
him. Okay, yeah. Leprechaun torsoed
very
him, and
torso.
that's it. Yeah, he can just dive in on.
Simrog is 1-touch leg, and Selith is just farming it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty much an
Simrog's done a
impossible
beautiful
scenario,
job
but
shielding the leg.
You need to try to just get that early kill, and then even if you're
Yeah.
like 1 shot for it, then you try to play the caps with your 2 mechs. Just the way he played it, it's just pretty much impossible to like actually win the drop. Even though it's kind of impossible no matter what, but only way you're gonna win is if you get some
Come
kind of
on,
crazy pick.
Stimrog, get the Selith headshot. Nope, he's halved.
Yep, halved. Almost legged.
And
Tickets are
Leprechaun's coming
right
from
over
behind.
the other side as well.
Leprechaun's just chain firing.
Oh, yeah, he is. I just noticed that.
Yeah, close drop though. I think that it goes to show the strength of pushes in general. But the way Vile handled it, I think they handled it really excellently, except for maybe their Shadowcat getting picked over here, because that probably gave like the only way for Vile to lose the game is if
Yeah.
like one of your fast mechs gets picked like that. But other than that, pretty clinical from Vile, pretty perfect.
Damage
on that
numbers.
wraparound.
Run through it. Oh, God.
Oh, MPG getting 11 in the Stormcrow. That hurts a lot. Deleth getting 785 in the Incubus, just beams and LMGs, farming the whole game. The highest is Hollow getting 569 for the highest on DSC, of which he did some pretty good work in the Skull. I don't think anybody can deny him. He lived way longer than anybody thought he was going to. So
Yeah.
all things considered, for a strat that I thought had no chance of winning, DSC did pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you just look at the mechs that Bile brought. Like the Battlemaster has a heat quirk. They brought that instead of a Stalker. They're bringing this Incubus with beam lasers. Like they're just so ready for this push.
All right, I've flicked over to the map strat if you guys want to have a quick doodle while I move the lobby around.
They brought such a farm heavy deck. While G is doodling on the map strat, I'm actually going to go use restroom real quick.
Go for it.
So I'm just going to flip over the map strat and then be right back.
Perfect.
Yeah, so DSC kind of did like this. And Vile went to normal spots, and then they wrapped around like this. With their Shadow Cat maybe getting some back shots, then going over there. But I think DSC maybe didn't know for sure there was nothing on Delta 5, because they took this really, like, you know, I'll use purple. I feel like they could have, you know, cut more directly in, but I feel like they didn't, because if there is something Delta 5, they need to be able to clear that out, and they just weren't sure. And that probably was the difference in the game, because if like the Stormcrow got legged basically in Delta 5 instead of Delta 6, if the Stormcrow had gotten in and then gotten legged, you know, it'll still be a factor in that fight later on.
Immediately
but it got legged so
too.
far. I mean, you see 11 damage. Yeah, it's just too far.
Immediately.
And you have better cover as well as soon as you're underneath these like rocks. So yeah, I definitely think if they could redo that drop, knowing there was nothing in Delta 5, their path would be more sharp towards the core of Vile.
There was another one as well, just on the Gamma. There was almost like a little kind of a ring around the rosy here, where a couple of DSC mechs got very butt shot. And I mean, look, it's going to happen in a brawl like that occasionally, depending on positioning and whatnot. That didn't quite help the process, let's say. That was a pretty aggressive push when you look at it. And hey, for two mechs left, one of them being legged, you can't be completely unhappy with that, I think, from DSC point of view.
No, I mean, I think that push, it would have beaten any other team, straight up.
Yep.
Yep. But Vile had the skill, and they brought the right mechs. Like, they had a trade deck, but it was definitely a very not greedy trade deck. And I think that really sets the tone of what these teams are thinking. Vile, if it's an even trade game, they're gonna win. And so they're hedging their bets and making sure they're safe to any shenanigans. I thought, maybe they're going to push to avoid that, but it seems like they're incredibly confident in their standard game. And so they're just going to make sure they bring enough counter brawl, like, a Battlemaster instead of a Stalker, so it's got a heat gen quirk, Incubus with beam lasers, to make sure they don't die to anything aggressive and just play a standard game every time.
Yeah, those things are important.
Very similar looking deck.
Just something as small as a heat quirk. It's like, oh, it's only a heat quirk. It is, but it's massive. The amount of extra shooting you can do just from that is irreplaceable. Like
absolutely,
it saves you. Absolutely saves you. Now, we are off to the bog. What do you think is going to happen here? Team, this was a deliberate pick again for these teams. So I feel like, who picked it? It was... DSC picked Bog, so they knew that they wouldn't have had the the choice of the side, I should say. So with Vile on team 2, DSC on team 1, are DSC going to push again or not?
There is a trend of people bringing Thunderbolts on Bog. Not the mech, the weapon. I want to see it again. I love seeing Thunderbolts in comp.
I can tell you what. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I just wanted to because they're about. It looks like they might lock in here soon.
Yeah.
I think that Vile's gonna set up some big trader up here, probably one like over here, and they're gonna play standard game based on what we just saw, like in these last 2 games. I don't think they're gonna push. I think they're gonna set up to receive and just play standard game. DSC, I have no idea what they're gonna do. I hope they don't push though, because I really don't think it's gonna work.
They're
Based
very
on what Vile brought in the last drop.
they're very heavy in Charlie Lance DSC, so they're obviously putting some bigs in these areas, right? That's I would assume if you're fairly heavy Charlie with all of your big mech players, that's where they're going. They're in this, what is it? This sort of general quadrant or circle-ish of the map, and it'll be up to, I guess, where does Vile end up in their lenses initially, because you'll have obviously your roaming sort of medium or whatever's going to be something out here, maybe out here early, maybe even out here to sort of scout, up here early to scout down potentially as well. Again, you can kind of run that side to scout down. I feel like Theta's very key on this map. If you take it, you can control it, or you deny it. It's kind of a pick. Which way do you go, right?
Well, Team 1 doesn't. You don't entirely have to go for Theta. If you ignore Theta and then just go on the north side, Team 1 can do Gamma, Epsi, and try to fight for Kappa. And Team 2 can do Sigma, Kappa, and try to fight for Epsi. So we have seen some teams forego Theta, but
Look at that.
Vile has been playing very cookie cutter so far, in my opinion, as far as where they start with their initial mech setup. So I wouldn't be surprised if they sent a mech or two. Like I don't see them like hardcore fighting for Theta, like do or die, we play here. But I think that they'll definitely send a light or two, just to see if it's free.
And they're basically Alpha Charlie here for Vile as well. So it seems to be the bottom side of the map, left or right, depending on which way you come from. But they're all locked in. Let's get into it.
I don't think that DSC would have changed their plans at all. I think whatever strats they've come up with, they're not going to change them just because they've lost 2 drops.
Yeah,
definitely been down in matches before, like these players, and they're not one to crumble because of that. So
also just swapping your strats at the last minute just never goes well.
No, it does not. It can, but most of the time, it definitely does not.
I can count on one hand in my 5+ years of playing comp the amount of times that I've gone, let's change our strat at like the last second, and it's worked out well. Let me know once we're in the game, and then I can hop in.
Yeah, they're still loading in. It looks like Bowser.
Oh, SRM Jenna and SRM Arctic Wolf here. Now, this is probably I've just had a quick look through the builds of DSC here. They've got 2 brawlers. The Jenna Arctic Wolf are brawling, and everything else, Cougars, Beams, Stone Rhino, Large, the usual sort of stuff you would expect from the mechs being selected. It's just the Arctic Wolf and the Jenna, a shotgun, like bombers. Interesting. Interesting. And have a quick look at the Vile builds. I don't know how you pull off SRMs. Like, where are you going to go? How are you going to do that? Easily. I'm
very suspicious of this Cougar, I will say.
The Beam Cougar?
Yes, I am incredibly suspicious of it. The SRMs I can see for going for a gank or for being counter pushed.
MVG loves that mech.
It's gonna do anything, man. I am very concerned for DSC.
4 AC-10, 1 plasma for the Stone Rhino here for Mr. Kong. That's interesting.
That's fast.
Yeah.
It's really fast.
It's very fast.
Yeah, maybe a big TC as well.
Maybe.
For velocity to hit lights.
Or 2 jump jets as well.
Okay. So that Lizzie helps. Going up to the spot I talked about.
Kong is not running a PC in his Stone Rhino. He's just going 61.
Just
this Spider 5B, by the way, useless in skirmishes, not very good in aggression. It's pretty much just a cat bot. And
yeah. I mean, two medium X pulse with its giant cooldown quirk might be able to do a little damage, but yeah, definitely not a premier light fighter. DSC has 2 mechs going up north looking to get Kappa. However, Scout Derek is right here. And oh wait, no, they're waiting. They're waiting for Derek to walk in. They're waiting for somebody to get Epsilon. They're bombers.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. They're waiting for Hollow to spot. Waiting for Hollow to spot something that moved up and shot him, and then they just jump him.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that ambush
Derek
to
is
happen.
playing it super safe.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's moving.
Yeah, so if they jump Derek right now, they kill him.
They're
He's
going,
dead.
they're going,
He's
they're
fucked.
going.
Oh,
100%
this
he's
is
dead
so
if they just, like-
important.
Yeah, he definitely overstepped. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. They need to get this pick though. Oh, they failed.
Oh,
they're
they
backing
missed it.
off.
Oh
I
dear,
can't
Derek's
believe
leg
they
is
got that
wrecked.
scared.
Derek's
Oh
leg
my
is
goodness.
wrecked.
They took a
Oh,
single
wow.
gosh shot from Aldeus and decided it's time to leave.
Yeah, that was
That is
Oh dear.
a little painful to watch.
They might not have had scouting info where all the lights are though. It's like look at how far Bowser is.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Yeah,
like,
it's true.
tell it. Like maybe they thought that they were gonna run to more lights coming over, and that's why they built. I will say that spot in particular, I'm gonna guess that the UAV was not detecting them because it's tall enough.
Yeah.
And
The
that's why
rock
they were
was
positioned
yeah.
there.
So it's just
Yeah, the rocks seem to be cutting LOS on the UAV.
now just
Yeah,
a
so
trade
really
fest right now.
smart spot.
Everyone's given up Theta. Like everyone has just given up trying to take Theta at this point. Just waiting, and no one is doing anything. Like both teams have said nah.
The problem is like DSC is losing now because they didn't get that pick because they put a lot of eggs into that basket.
Yeah.
The reality is
Of
Vile
which-
has more skirmish, way more skirmish.
Way more.
Of which
Way
Derek
more.
is coming back.
Derek
And
wants
as
some
long
more.
as Kong and Adeus are here, Kappa isn't really an option to steal. So
See, but I mean, now
I think
Derek has
it's-
come back, and if there's no SRM bombers there and they're spotted elsewhere on the map, Derek can now come around the top. Gonna be a bit risky considering he's almost half-legged to Epsy.
I don't understand this Cougar. I don't know what it does.
Assault's down to 70% in this dome right now.
Yeah, just. I mean, it's spread at least, but yeah, his CT's.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
that hurts.
we've got to move on here from Vile.
I-
Vile is moving. If you can see, the Stone Rhino is coming up. Derek is scouting on this side here. Incubus is moving up, and the Mad Cat is moving up. Deus moving up as well. So Vile
DSC
is moving.
seems to be aware of it. Maybe.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe.
Uh,
But they've got the two bombers over the back here, Chicken and Windscape, right? I mean, the bombers aren't going to be able to do too much if 4 Vile come around that corner. Or Hollow,
so
for that matter.
MPG and Stimrog are still just both sitting on Theta, though. I'm not sure if I like that. I'm not sure what MPG has been doing this match, though.
I don't think he can do anything with that mech. Like, if he was in a Jenner or something, he could skirmish and try to help get Stim get the cap, but like.
DSC know that there is more aggression coming from the left because Nyan has just jumped further back up to the ridge further behind, which gives far more overwatch across the map to that left side of the map. But
Yeah,
Vile have
good-
backed
good
off. After all that, Vile have backed off from going and doing it in the end. Okay.
No, they're gonna eventually push this corner. They're looking at getting Epsi because Theta just got flipped.
Yep.
Stim managed to just get it. I don't know how he got it. Great play from Stim. He shouldn't have gotten it
Have
with
spotter.
what Vile has looking at it. But yeah, great play from Stim. That's how they win this game. Is they hold.
Chimera's
onto the
walking up.
caps.
Looks like Vile is gearing up for a push on Theta.
Yep, certainly looks like it.
Which I
There's
mean
4
makes
mechs.
sense. I don't know if they've gotten a target read on Basalt yet,
Well,
but
just
Okay,
looking at
now
where
Cougar
the
can do things though.
I'm just looking at where the targets are, right? Like you've got DSC are way more spread out. And Vile are ready to come over the top and crush from Theta from what is that, the middle E5 region, all the way in. If the opportunity presents itself, they are ready for it. DSC at the moment aren't.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
they
actually-
overscale
Ooh,
these
Basalt is
SRM
weak
mechs are
too.
gonna
Ooh.
really jump them.
yeah,
and give them
actually,
hell.
MPG and House setting up. They have a brutal beam crossfire here that I think they can just deny Theta.
And Nine has come back
Infinitely.
again over here.
MPG's mech went from being useless to being amazing just because Stim got that cap. That is just I cannot stress how big
Yeah.
of a deal that is to get that
Yeah,
cap.
beams are maybe the best captain out. However, Bowser and Leprechaun seem to be inching forward, trying to see if they can get a shot on House.
Slowly.
I'd be a little
Slowly.
concerned if I was House because a beam Shadowcat may not be too inclined
Oh,
to trade
it's
with
on,
something
it's
with
on,
equal
it's on,
firepower.
it's on, it's on, it's on. It's moved.
Yep.
Vile have all started to move
moving to
forward.
Theta.
Yep.
Stealth is walking
Oh,
in.
all of them looking hard at Lizzie.
Theta
Oh,
is
Jesus.
is neutralized and MPG is forced to back off. Yep. Vile might
Basalt's
get it
gonna
here.
go down here.
Yep.
I think they have to let Basalt go. House needs to bail and get out.
Yep. And use the SRM
And,
bombers
these
later
SRM
when they get
mechs need to-
closer.
Okay, Stim's
These
going for
SRM
the
mechs
backstab.
need to start bombing now. Chicken Man is
Here
about to
goes Chicken Man,
bomb on Aldeus. Oh, gets a beautiful back shot.
But
Oh, MechWarrior
he
numbers.
doesn't quite get it. He hits the leg.
He's
one
I
shot
think he's
in
going for the
rim.
pelvis. Come on, chicken.
have
One more
him.
shot. One more shot. One more. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
So
yeah.
that's
Yep.
an assault for assault. Chimera's down to 58%.
Assault for an assault. Nine is
Magic-
getting shot in the butt though. Just there. Nine just got like clipped from across the map from one of the other guys. Oh yeah, that hurts.
Magic in a
Oh.
great position trying to keep House alive, but he's gonna get jumped in a second here by this.
Yeah, see
by
House.
Kong's about to go down.
See the Jenna of Bowser and Incubus and Salith are right there on House as well. They can move over to start harassing MPG.
Okay.
DSC
oh my
bombing
goodness.
lights are moving in.
Yep.
DSC
This looks
gets a
good for
back
DSC.
Yeah,
on
back shot there
Sigma.
on Kong. Yep. That's
Follows
pretty big.
DSC gets Vile's home cap. I think that solidified their win.
No,
I think
this
as
is
long as
huge.
he
It's
can
right
live.
between Chicken and Leprechaun, this could decide things. Chicken gets legged.
Yep.
He does not
Chimera
get the
goes
return
down.
leg.
Yeah, Chicken is Chicken is open on the other leg as well. Where is Derek? Derek's leg is still fresh. Well, fresh he says it hasn't been taken off when it kind of should have been a while ago.
MPG is about to leg him though. MPG is farming him so much.
Yep.
Well, Salad
Emma's
is getting back up
going
to
down.
MPG. Oh, that spider's coming in handy right now, though. Completely out of the fight, just capping.
Yep.
DSC, yeah, Stim is getting Kappa.
It's
I think
just
if
caps.
DSC can win for, I think if DSC can just live for a little longer, they'll win this on caps.
It's all just on caps, and they're
Just need to
all on
stall for a little
Leprechaun. Oh
longer.
my
If-
god.
I think if they can leg Leprechaun or Selith, that'll be enough.
Well, it's MPG on Selith here. Oops, sorry about that.
Yeah, see, this is the
Yeah,
beam on
MPG's going to get
beam
legged by the other beamer and the machine guns. Oh my god, it's such a busy thing
Windscape
to
is
keep
so
up.
heat capped. I don't think he can keep up with the flea.
No, he can't.
Yeah,
he has to run away, and he is.
Though,
The tickets, see, it's 3 cap to 1 cap. The tickets are 160, 150 in front right now. It's definitely looking
DSC's won
DSC.
this.
It's definitely
Yeah, they
looking
did, they
DSC. Yep.
Windscape just needs to get a single good shot on the flea. Windscape's leg.
Windscape's legged, and Theta. Theta just got flipped as well. Windscape legged, Theta flipped. Can they do it?
Stim
no.
with the all chat
Come
banter
on.
right back at Bowser from the beginning.
There we
You
go.
love to
4
see
cap.
it.
4
You
cap.
love to see it.
That capping
Oh,
spider
love
has
to see
the absolutely stinky
Oh
spider.
my
Goodness
goodness.
me. Yeah. Wow. Busy game.
I love the banter. I love the match so far because now we're 2-1. Man, and Sim has every right to all chat. I don't know how he got that. I really wish I was watching that because that
Yeah.
is what won them the game, straight up. Like,
Yep.
I
Not
do not
having
see a
watch on
world
Theta.
that they win this game if he does not get Theta for DSC, because that was everything. Suddenly, Magic's
Where are we at
mech
on-
actually can function, and it's on Vile to push. And They have
Dimrog
SRM.
with the 1 damage.
1 damage, but the most impact of anyone in this entire match, in my opinion.
I'm not sure which one is worse, 1 or 0. I think a 0 would have been better than 1. Lizzie getting 659 in the Executioner, just Overwatch farming all game. Basalt getting 507 and dead. Basalt was kind of trading like 1v3 the whole match.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
got
was
strike
quite
a lot,
weak
I
quite
imagine,
early.
too.
Yeah, quite weak
Yeah.
quite early. Yeah, kind of got pinned in the corner. I mean, when the Vile guys came around that corner, he was already cherry CT with the armor. So, busy game. Mapstrat, you're gonna have to. This is going to be a very quick one while I swap around the lobby because we've got Bearclaw to talk about after, which will also be very busy.
Yeah, so
The
like, I
fact
thought,
that Derek survived.
Yeah,
Vile
right.
set up-
Yeah.
set up their assaults in like FA and D7, Mad Cat and Nexi respectively, and they played a very standard game. At one point, Shadowcat moved up to D5. Amazing ambush spot because it's hidden from UAVs from DSC, but got a little bit too scared. Probably didn't have the scouting info that Shadowcat was very isolated, and so they pulled out before they could get the kill. But they did open his leg. But the real story of this game is Stimrock somehow getting Theta when there's a Jenner with heavy mediums, and I believe an Incubus down there on Theta, or maybe it was the Flea, and an Overwatch mech in F8, all looking at Theta, and somehow Stimrock gets that with basically no help, no skirmish help from his team. Crazy that he gets that cap, but that's the story of this game. What do you guys think? Would you agree with me there?
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think of of what Vile could have done to win that, or what Vile could have changed to win that.
I mean, don't let him cap Theta. I don't
That's
know.
true.
Like,
Don't let him cap Theta. Maybe aggress the Theta fight a little bit sooner. That way the fight is more wrapped up and Stim doesn't have as much time to cap.
I think that you're right, but they also had to wait for like their Mad Cat to move up. I don't like how the Mad Cat positioned, by the way, and they get ganked for basically free. You mean you knew that they have SRM mech, so going by yourself an assault mech like that, you're basically just like putting yourself on a platter. I think he had time if he rotated earlier to kind of push the inside line, like E7, E6, maybe even come up to this side and have have a late kind of waiting with him for a bit and then push later and look for caps later. But other than that, I still think it's a tough situation having to push into 2 SRM brawl mechs, 2 beam mechs, and a bunch of Overwatch on high ground.
Yeah.
When you have to
Of which it is
ground.
amazing that the moment DSC got the cap advantage, that Cougar went from not doing anything to instant MVP.
And just drawing the lights, the SRM bombers here, they were just sort of patrolling the sort of back end, all the way out here, just backwards, forwards.
They were just salivating at the thought of somebody getting Epsilon.
Yeah.
After that gank failed, basically like the 2 SRM mechs and the Cougar did nothing until they got Theta. Like those mechs are actually useless if they're not going to push into you in that situation. So like getting Theta forces them to push into it, and then what happens? Well, the SRM mechs get a free pick on a Mad Cat. The Cougar can deny caps and rack up damage all day long. It's just I don't think I've ever seen a situation where like a single cap has such a huge impact on like how the match, like how the rest of that drop is going to play out.
Yep.
I
don't think I've seen a Matt, especially 1 damage cap spider, just shifting a game, absolutely forcing a team's hand, and it was relatively at that point even. I mean, it had been 2 cap versus 2 cap for what, over a third of the game, and all of a sudden 30 tickets later, it's like, oh shit, we now need to do something because we've already got about 420 tickets each. So as soon as one team's 30, 40 ahead, your timer has been run down significantly by that point.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. Yeah, and obviously the call for the Spider to go for the back cap and stuff is great, of course, but that's just doing his job. I don't think that was anything particularly special. But DSC, they're down a mech, and they still put up one hell of a fight against that push. And obviously Vile is great shots and whatnot, and they had the beams and the SRMs and whatnot, but still pretty impressive because they are just playing a straight up a mech down with that Spider with 1 damage, right?
Yep.
So
well, almost
very, very well played from them.
Yeah, I mean a mech down at one point, but you think about there was 2 SRM bombers, and they weren't really doing a hell of a lot after the Derek thing until that cap. So there was about 3 minutes where you'd probably say that Vile had more firepower to use and couldn't or didn't for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Yeah, Vile's got to be more careful. If you're gonna play a standard game, you cannot be letting those caps slip from you, especially if you have a bunch of skirmishers in Overwatch looking at it. Like, Stimrog's known for that spider. He loves that thing. And gotta keep driving the cap. I wish I was watching it to see like, did somebody distract them? Because I don't know what else they'd be doing with like a heavy medium laser Jenner. Did he move up and was trying to get pot shots on something? I don't actually know, but
we may never know. We may find out later. But anyway, let's get over to Bear Claw with Team 1 being Vile and Team 2 being DSC. What do we think is going to happen?
Oh yeah, I ran a little bit too long. Sorry.
No, that's all right.
Yeah.
They're not even locked in yet, mate. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So D7, I believe, is a great spot for putting like a Battle Master or something. It's kind of like a high ground spot I think you can walk up to, and it's great lines like towards the center, I believe. I'm not as experienced in this map, but I remember seeing that quite a lot, and it can easily rotate and watch Epsi. I think that neither of these teams are going to get Epsi early. I'll say that.
Nah,
I wouldn't be surprised though, because DSC is kind of a team that, in my experience, I don't want to say allergic to, but they very much like to set up their bigs to be pretty stagnant. So I'm thinking that DSC will probably set up something here, and just try to hold this 3 cap and sort of let Vile do whatever they may. But on the other hand, though,
Vile are locked in Bravo Alpha,
uh,
by the way, so they're heavy on the right side of the map.
Single max
DSC
rally.
is in Team 2?
No. Vile is heavy Bravo Alpha, so they're locked in on that right side.
Okay, so Vile may be trying to mirror the same thing. It could be something similar to what we saw in 228 against Mantra, where both teams are just fully intent on playing for Theta and Epsilon, and they don't care about Kappa at all, and they're just gonna have a big fight right here.
No, I think we're gonna see at least one mech go to Kappa, and I'm very interested to see how many lights these teams send, and if there's a fight there, because if it could be like a 2-on-2 light fight.
Yeah, Kappa is kind of a nuclear arms race where it started. The meta started with send one light to get Kappa, ignore it, and then some teams started to send 2 lights to Kappa so they can gank the 1 light, and then you have teams like say FJRD who's like, what if we send 6 mechs to Kappa so we can gank anything? So I'm a little curious to see how confident each team will be here on their Kappa light or maybe Kappa Wolfpack.
Yeah, you can scout it and be careful, or you could just like full send on it and hope to catch something. There's a lot of ways to approach Kappa, but if one team plays for it and one team doesn't, it takes so long to get over there, and it's so far from the fight. You are playing at a huge tempo loss if the other team just like gets Kappa and for free and then walks back over. Because even just send like a fleet over there, it's out of the game for so long to get that cap like later on that the enemy can often like push during that time or make aggressive movements, knowing that you have a mech out of the fight. So really important cap there.
All right. Well,
teams are playing standard.
Here we are. Drop number 4. It is the Vile 2 wins to DSC's 1 at the moment. It is a best of 7, so we could be going a while yet. Some very, very tight games. Very interesting result last match. What are we going to have in this game? So far on the Vile side, we've got Shadowcat Kid Fox, SR6, Crusader, Exy, Bloodass, Rancor, which will be ER large, I imagine, Jenna, and a Fleas. What do we got on the other side?
I am still loading in, so if GRAM wants to take that.
Okay.
Absolutely, we'll take that over. We got Magic with beam lasers, light machine guns on Shadowcat, Ice Fair with heavy smalls. That's interesting. It's got a stutter fire that. Machine gun, small pulse, Viper, ear large, ear medium, micro laser, Stone Reno, Goss ear large, Direwolf, ear large, micro pulse, Exy, Stimrog with heavy medium, this is Narcs on Jenner, and Mag Shot Fleet.
DSC are coming hard on this right side, like hard out here.
They're actually gonna try to get FC, which I think is a bit crazy because it's so easy to get your legs tased off if a bunch of traders suddenly wrap the corner on that. But they're actually going for Kappa and FC and giving up Theta entirely. This is super interesting.
Hold up. Assault's in a jumping dire.
Wait.
Celis
is he jumping fast? Is he going up on this cliff maybe?
Is he going up on the rock side?
He must be.
Yo.
You might be able to do this in 2 jumps. Oh man, maybe we get to see some science here. Okay, but they're not going to get FC. They are going to get harassed by Bowser and Kid Fox. If they knew he was alone, they might actually pressure and kill him together, but
Assault's jumping up.
Yeah, he is. You must be able to get all the way up here. Yeah, you must be. Oh wow.
This is scary though, because if you have strats like this planned out and you don't get the jumps off, you're actually like your team is usually
So interestingly enough, if you look at DSC on Kappa, they have actually
mirrored
it. They have MPG on Overwatch in the back of the map with probably
they've got
an ER large Shadowcat.
They just managed to skip Epsi.
Beams do reach there barely. They tickle, but they can deny the cap.
So you have an ER large Direwolf sitting on the back of the map over Epsilon, and an ER large and an ER large Shadowcat sitting in the back of the map over Kappa.
We gotta talk about
your home cap
almost dying though. Sim is almost dying. He somehow gets out. He really shouldn't have, in my opinion. They're still kind of chasing him. They're looking to get his leg. I think it's smoking. Oh no, he's actually not even taking that much damage somehow. But yeah, he somehow gets Epsi and gets out. That's crazy. I thought they were gonna at least trade the pick for him. This is
an interesting thing because all of DSC is stacked over here, and it's all about the Kappa denial. I'm assuming you can deny MPG. Was he over the top there? Kappa, because if he can't deny Kappa, DSC are in trouble.
He can.
You must be, yeah.
So
Yeah,
one
it looks
thing
like-
I do want to point out is that Basalt and Stim are so high above the cap point, you can't hide behind it to cap. They will have full lines.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Okay, so the
I
play
like
from
this.
Vile, this is a crazy smart strat, and honestly, like this kind of just goes to show that like DSC has done their homework, and they are planning on outstratting Vile to win
Yeah.
this.
Oh,
That
Leprechaun
pushes
is being
back a
chased
bit.
over the back here by Stim and
Leprechaun,
House.
Yeah,
Oh,
tried
he's
to-
almost legged.
He
Almost.
tried to run in on a kill on Stim and just completely ignored House.
Ooh.
Kong is coming to save the day, but I don't know. Even then, what does Vile do here? Do you just try to kill the low ground mechs so then you can isolate the cap deniers at the end? But even then, can you do
Absolutely.
that in time?
I'd come
I think
inside.
You
You
literally
go
just
inside.
bring your. I think you bring your long range out into the open, and you just basically you form a firing line on FC, and you just out trade them. You play whack a mole.
Yeah.
It's
You
the
could do
only way to
that.
do it. You cannot. You
Salah's
cannot
in
do what they're doing
big
now.
trouble as well. Look like Salah is in a strike or cooked himself maybe as well, perhaps.
Okay. Like the other thing you could do is you could bring Chimera over to Kappa and basically just like again stand on Kappa and shoot the Shadowcat every single time it pokes to deny. But like you're doing it so late. If this was your play, you should have done it earlier.
DSC
And
have
he's still
moved
not
all
very
the
good.
way
Gonna
out.
Get up and get aggro.
Look how far DSC
I
are.
wonder
Look
if-
where they are. They are in the back of the map, like the back corner
They-
of the map.
Vile just clearly is bamboozled. They just don't know what to do. Like, okay, they're gonna go for Gamma, I guess, but I don't think that's
So-
gonna work, right?
MPG can't deny Gamma. Assault
know.
will
Can
have
he?
trouble denying Epsilon.
So no,
I think he can deny Gamma.
no, this is
or
going to be no,
sorry,
no.
Gamma,
Gamma's
I mean.
the problem here because DSC have 3 mechs versus Vile's 2, and Leprechaun is almost legged, right? Like he's open. Oh, sorry,
so-
no.
Eric's joining the
Vile
fight.
have 3 now. Sorry, I'm no, my mistake.
Yeah, but Massage-
Oh,
House gets hard burned in
Yeah.
the leg.
yeah.
House is red
But-
both legs. That's not good.
MPG actually drops off
drops?
Kappa. Whoa. Why did he do that?
I don't know.
Oh, is it because Stimrog called it?
Celis
Or-
is there. Stimrog is running in. There's gonna be some Jenner on Jenner
Oh,
combat
see,
here.
Bassalt's got
Celis is so
Overwatch on.
hurt, though.
Bassalt's got Overwatch on Gamma relatively as well. I mean, obviously you can't
Celis
watch
doesn't
everything.
know Stimrog's there. Stimrog.
And MPG came back. Oh, he went for
Oh,
his rear.
Stimrog gets a hard burn on Celis' rear. Celis barely survives. But
Man.
Oh yeah, Saloth lost almost.
Although a little bit caught in the open here, but it's okay. He's not getting shot by anything too big. Like the Vile's traders are just so late to the action. Finally, Chimera's gonna round this corner and kill.
Zealous,
Vile, I'm sure.
Zealous just lost one of his weapons, by the way. Arm gone, so that's 2 heavy mediums gone. That's a problem.
Let's see what Basalt decides to shoot. Does he focus on the cap or does he shoot Chimera? He's shooting Chimera now, which means that maybe they can get this Gamma cap. I don't like this play from Basalt.
I don't
They
think
wanna hold this cap.
maybe.
Yeah.
Even then, a
You
2-cap
should-
wins this
yeah.
though.
Yeah, but like I think it's a mistake to shoot these mechs instead of the ones on the cap, and they do decap Gamma. Magic wasn't
Yeah,
back
but-
in time because he
Because now DSC are locked right into this back.
However, DSC is sending somebody to get the home cap.
Yeah, that must be Stim. MPG going on a wide flank. Oh my gosh, this is just such an amazing strategy.
Yeah,
from
Stim is going to get Sigma.
Oh, MPG
Delith is
gets
going to get
Leprechaun. Yeah.
Epsilon. However, House is
Jan's
waiting
gonna
there.
fall, but she's holding the corner the best she can. Basalt giving that Overwatch fire. Chimera eats a bunch of shit on that corner. He's open CT as well. Jan's
Yeah.
about to
Delith
fall.
runs straight into House.
they're
Stealth didn't even see
bleeding.
House.
They're bleeding heaps of
Delith is
armor on
like-
this corner with Basalt and everything. Basalt is getting airstruck to the living heavens.
Scout goes down.
Yeah.
Chicken's still alive in that corner, leg shielding. Excellent leg shield. And you can see Audios just doesn't know what to do. He's trying to get that other leg, but it's just not going to happen. He's an ER large blood asp, you know. He's only got 2 ER large at this point.
Oh, Kong's legs is almost dead there as well. Lizzie is just about done too. Yeah, this scrap out the back here is not going well at all. Not going well at all.
Yeah, no, I mean
So-
DSC basically have just completely outsmarted Vile, and
Yep.
not only that, but like Vile didn't know what to do, and I'm not sure if that's on their drop call or the team as a whole, but like they reacted about as bad as you can. They wasted a bunch of time doing nothing, trying to grab the side caps. They took a long time to figure out what the opponent's strategy was. They let them get those early caps for free, and then they weren't decisive with what they wanted to do. They took a long time to do it, and I don't even think it was the right call. I think it was probably the worst thing they could have done.
I also think
Gamma.
I think the
bit,
best
yeah.
way Vile could have won that is that if they sent their lights to kill MPG and use that as a screen to get Kappa, and then that'll instantly shatter the 3 cap.
I mean, you say
Damage,
send their lights,
no.
but like, what lights do they have that are gonna jump up there, man?
Nothing.
That's true.
I doubt
That's
that
true.
Gender has enough jump jets. I really think they just need to bring their traders to one of the caps, sit on it, and outtrade them, and just say like, no, we're getting this cap.
All right,
gonna shoot
damage
you
numbers,
back.
guys. Wow, wow, wow.
Assault getting
Yeah.
818 damage, just sitting up farming. MPG getting 113. He clearly didn't have the range. He was just trying to scratch to get the cap the whole match. Let's see, what else do we have? Lizzie getting 413, which is the best for Vile here. That's a little sad to see. Chicken getting 549, very good in a skirmish Viper, but yeah, I don't know. So I have a bit of a bit of confession to make. We scrimmed DSC before Comp Q ended, like before we even left Comp Q, and we saw a very early form of this strat, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I've had to keep a lid on it this whole time. I've had to not tell anybody about this strat for so long. And I hated it so much because I thought it was amazing and I couldn't talk to anybody about it. However, I will say we saw a very preliminary form of this strat. We saw it before they learned they could put the Shadow Cat up there. So it was very nice to see that they had grown.
What a genius strategy, honestly, and just shows the amount of time like to math out those spots and such a clear, concise playing of that strategy too. Like everybody on DSC side knew what to do and what their roles were, and they did them excellently.
Do you want to give it a bit of a draw on the map strat there, and then we'll do a very quick one, and then we'll do some Terra Therma, because Terra Therma is also very, very busy.
So
I feel like we have
map strat. I just wanted to point out that you know, these strats are pretty much one-time uses.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, I think if DSC wins this, like I definitely can, like Vile's definitely gonna come prepared for this stuff, and if they meet them again in the grand final, it's gonna be hard for DSC to use these type of strats to win twice if they meet them in the grand final. Like DSC's pulling out everything they have today.
Yeah, that being said, if they do meet, if Vile and DSC do come head to head in the grand final, you know that when the map ban occurs, Vile's priority will be do not let them get Team 2 on Bear Claw.
Yeah, that will definitely be in their mind.
They will 100% not pick the map. They know that they will need to pick the side, of which that's fair. If you think that your opponent has a strat you can't answer, that is 100% a fair response. But
all right, do some
because
quick doodling, guys, for the people at home, players at home. Some just to explain that strat just quickly.
Yeah, so the team 2 DSC jumped up on both these high ground that you just circled, and basically their idea was to control Gamma, Kappa, and Epsi, which you would think is very, very difficult to do, almost impossible to do, because those are 3 very, very far caps from each other. But they utilize these high ground angles to basically have just one mech to deny each of those caps, and then had 6 mechs that were able to float as needed in between all 3 of those caps. Vile, on the other hand, you know, they went for a more standard, we'll grab Sigma, we'll grab Theta, with plans to just grab their 3rd cap wherever DSC was weakest. They didn't find that. And so what happened was their traders kind of just faffed around the center, maybe took some bad peeks on the side a couple times, but they weren't decisive until very late in the game. And then they actually went for Gamma, which is probably the worst place you can go for, because it's directly in the center of all of DSC's mechs. If they had gone for maybe Epsi, and even if they're standing out in the open, just try to force this direwolf down, or had gone for Kappa and done the same to the Shadowcat, they probably would have stood a better chance. But yeah, they panicked, I think, a bit, and they ended up pushing Gamma, which just put themselves in a crossfire.
Yeah.
Pretty good summary.
Maybe they, oh boy. Maybe something Vile could have done is that if they sent an assault mech out to, like, say here, and pretty much the call being the call given would be, you need to trade with the Dire. You're not going to win trades. You're going to burn a fuck ton of armor, but just screen while I get Epsilon. You know, somebody coming out to screen to burn the Dire, because then Basalt in the Dire needs to choose: do I shoot the guy shooting me, or do I shoot to hold the caps? Something in order to make them feel like, you know, because if it is only one mech up high, you only have to suppress one mech. But on the other hand, though, Vile didn't really have the range to suppress Basalt. You had like a quad ER large, 6 ER med stone rhino, and that's not a lot.
Yeah,
So
it's tough, but you have to do it because, and the thing is, if you get one of those side caps, it's like how is DSC gonna get it back really? Like they have all these
yeah,
mechs that are really far back and slow. Then the Theta cap, suddenly you have Theta, and you have the side cap. You can play super passive, let them come to you, let them go out of position. Even if you bled a bunch of armor for that, you have to try. You know.
Well,
So
now to Terra, which we know from many games so far with DSC is how they play Team 2. What do you do as Vile?
I'm just so excited it's 2-2 and the best
Yep.
of 4, because I've
Yeah.
never actually had a best of 4. It's always
So
best of 5s or best of 7.
so
Sorry.
Yeah, we're going to 2 more
Kappa,
games.
Sigma, Gamma,
least.
Hold. I'd say there's a 99% chance DSC will do that. So in KDCM, we actually scienced out a strat for that, or scienced out a theoretical way to counter that, and that is that Team 2 needs to put every egg into the basket of Gamma. So DSC will have 2 mechs. They will have a mech in the back here as circled, and they will have a mech on top on top of Kappa. You need 2 mechs to screen. You need a mech to screen here to trade against the Dire, and you need a light to screen here to trade against whatever they put in Gamma. Last time it was a Hunchback 2C, and you need to get Gamma. If you can get Gamma, you can hold Gamma, Theta, Epsilon almost effortlessly. But if you can't hold it, and you lose Sigma, of which you probably will, you're done. It's over. It's all good. It's all going to be about screening and trying to steal a single cap.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I think that if DSC decides to go for that, hold the Kappa, Gamma, Sigma, I think they will lose, because I think if you know your opponent is going to do it and they've shown that that strat before, it's a very easy and simple way to counter it is have mechs on like this hill, kind of in Theta where I'm circling now, looking at Sigma, and like some kind of faster but like mid-range skirmish mechs around the back here, and they will never get Sigma from you. And this
Pretty
mech
much
on
what
Kappa
Mantra
way in
did
the back
earlier.
will have no lines.
Mantra did that
They'll have
earlier.
no
They
lines.
stuck their guys right on Fox 7, as you said. So,
Yeah, and I think that if Vile does that, then there's no way DSC will win, because that assault mech above Kappa, literally out of the fight, will never do anything. It'll never be able to pressure Theta. It'll never be able to help you flip Sigma, and that mech in the back, by watching Gamma, like you mentioned as well, will probably have to move up, and you'll probably end up having to try to get Theta. But really, you're just gonna be a mech down because of that slow mech on Kappa. So I really hope DSC doesn't do that.
probably thinking, like you said just then, sort of Kappa, Sigma, Gamma. But to Vile, Theta is the important one for them because you can just deny the Sigma.
Yeah, I absolutely think Vile is going to play for like Theta, Sigma, Epsi. I'd be very surprised if they do that Gamma move you were talking about, Tio, so that I can see the merit in it. I think it's like kind of overcomplicating a bit. Like I really think that you can hold Sigma from like D8 and from Theta, and it's on the other teams to somehow push out and dislodge you from Sigma, because Team 1 gets the Sigma cap before it can be denied at the beginning of the game. Like you have to find a way to force the Overwatch off and get that cap if you're trying to play Kappa, Gamma, Sigma, which is not easy to do.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely a real thing. And I think that if DSC does do this strat, then the hardest hurdle will definitely be the first one of trying to steal Sigma. But I don't know. DSC has also been unveiling some super weird strats, so maybe they're gonna pull the same thing they did on Bear Claw, where they just have some single strat just waiting to be shown off here.
Just looking at
The
the
reality
Lances.
is Vile's lost 2 games now because they are not watching the caps. Bog.
Yeah.
They were just asleep at the wheel on Theta, and that second one they let both side caps get grabbed for free, and
Yep.
I would seriously doubt they would let it happen again on Sigma. Like if that happens, I'm definitely like gonna be questioning what Vile is doing. They really should not be letting Sigma go easily. But the Lancers are kind of like what you talked about with Charlie being really heavy.
Charlie Bravo, this one, yeah, for Team 2. I just saying about that.
So
yeah.
maybe you're right, Tios. Maybe that's what they plan on doing here. I don't think it'll work if they do it, but I'm ready to be surprised.
I would say it's been their most tried and true strat this year. So
They came out with it early.
I would say
they came out with it early and did really well with it and surprised. Oh, geez, who they played first round? They absolutely just like what? Completely dominated the game.
And I think the biggest thing about it is how many teams we've seen try to emulate it and just fail utterly.
Because I'm gonna be honest, it's a strat that I'm not sure. I'm definitely not claiming I made it or something, but I made something similar for Fidelis in an earlier tournament, and the strategy it needs you to be better than your opponent basically, because you need to be able to outtrade them and slowly push them off Sigma down to mech essentially. And if you can't do that, then you're never gonna get a Sigma. So to bring it out against Vile, I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
do you think we'll see something like the Cap Spider or the Cap Locust, something to help get that early pull on Sigma?
I mean, very possible. Stim has been working magic with these caps, so like, I'm definitely not counting it out. If they can get Sigma, I think they would win. I just don't think they're gonna get Sigma. I'm kind of expecting some shenanigans to be happening at least for one of these teams in like the F6 volcano, to maybe make a more. I think that's probably the answer to how maybe they plan on getting it, is like you deny the mechs on Theta by harassing them somehow. I don't know if they do go for that.
Well, here we go. It is 2 wins apiece. 2 to Vile for the first 2, and 2 to DSC in the second 2. So we are at the very least going to 6 games out of this best of 7.
I don't think we've ever gone to 7 in the history of MWO comp.
Yeah,
Have you ever gone to 6? Because I thought it's always been a best of 5.
It's always been best of 5.
So last
most
year's
of the
grand
time.
finals, I think. No, last year's grand finals.
I didn't watch last year.
There was 3 drops between EQ and 5J, and that was it. So we already are guaranteed to have more drops.
Yeah,
at least in non-grand finals.
Having a very quick look at the mechs here. We've got a Shadowcat P. I don't know what's on it. I'll have a look in a moment. But a Corsair 7A Locust Cap, Crusader, Viper, Xe, Flea, and a SR1, which I'm probably going to guess
Corsair is a very interesting pick.
Yeah, what do we have on the red? We'll go through the builds in a minute.
DSE is running a Flea, a Huntsman, a Viper, an Xe, a Stone Rhino, a Dire, a Cap Spider, and a Shadowcat. So Huntsman is 100% the Gamma deny mech. Looking where it's spawning, looking where DSC has spawned their bigs. I'm 100% betting that they are doing the Kappa Gamma Sigma hold.
Ooh, it's a Gauss ER large Corsair. It is the range, but there's nothing super secret. It is the range, and 5 ER large on the Xe. Sorry.
No, we'll see if Sim can work his magic. I mean, they're doing exactly what Tio said, and they brought that Cap Spider exactly like Tio said. So you were right on the money. We'll see if he can get Sigma. I doubt it, but I am
Where
ready to be
is
surprised.
Stim?
He just grabbed Gamma. Maybe he's gonna look.
He just grabbed Gamma. I hate it. Teams need to stop doing this. You need to send your Cap mech to get Sigma. It's the most time sensitive Cap. Actually, no. Hold on a minute. Stim may be onto something big. Is that while the entire enemy team is looking at Sigma and or Gamma, Stim is going in the old Caldera, and I think he's gonna try to sneak Epsilon.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna try to grab Epsilon and pull their attention that way so they can get Sigma.
Just a quick note as well. The Shadowcat for Vile has ER Pips on it again, same as the HBG game.
This spider's about to take a lot of leg damage, by the way. Okay.
Chimera and Audeus, it seems that you're right. Vile knows exactly what DSC was planning to do, because Chimera and Audeus are setting up to die for Sigma. Like, they are going to hold that cap for as long as they can.
They're having to run out. Like they said sitting behind Sigma, and look at DSC are already exiting that Sigma side of the map. They're off. They're leaving that right now at the moment.
I'm a bit curious because there's no way that they play this strat without having a plan for what happens if they can't get Sigma. So I'm very curious to see what their counterplay is. Is it going to
still-
rely on Stimrog or
I don't know. They're still looking to
hold on.
commit, right? Because you've got Basalt and Nyan still both coming up high.
You see what's happening with the
Stimrock-
spider and
I'm coming
yeah,
now,
Stimrog
yeah.
just jumped over the volcano to avoid Leprechaun's flee.
I'm not sure if
Jesus
Leprechaun saw him. I don't think Stim saw the flea.
I'm positive Leprechaun saw him. There's no way he didn't see him.
He would have got the he would have got the ping from the UAV if he's got radar there.
Yeah.
Well, you'd
Of
hope.
which the fact that Stim just said,
Nice.
Here it is.
Yeah,
though.
nice
Here's their play.
counter.
Their plays to get Theta. That's their play.
That's what they're doing?
Hollow
Yep.
moving up.
Yeah.
Hollow
up.
MPG, of which Kong Lord is on top to deny along with Bowser, but like, I'm not.
Chicken
Lizzie's
Man.
coming up along with Selith.
Viola stacked too heavy at Sigma. They've got 3 over there.
Yeah.
They don't need 3, I don't think, at all. Especially not
But-
when there's no push coming. It's all over
Don't
Theta.
know
Oh
if-
dear.
Chicken's gonna
I
start
don't know
harassing
if
here, I think.
I don't know if DSC will be able to get Theta though. They're gonna have to screen really hard for House.
Right, they're going for it. Here they go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a full cap on Theta too. That is not easy, and I feel
Chicken Man is jumping in from
Too dangerous.
above on
Chicken Man's
Kong,
making his play. Yep, he forced him down.
making Kong leave the volcano, but
Oh,
I
nine is hit
don't know.
hard
I don't
early
think-
at 76%. Sorry, right there. And MPG also copping a fair bit of shit running through the middle there. Leprechaun in the corner here, actually annoying the bigs and not hitting House.
House is gonna run in. It's gonna be a flea on flea fight. Stimrog is coming in as well.
Yep.
Okay, but it's just an ear large on that spider. It doesn't actually do a lot, by the way. Keep that in mind.
Oh yeah,
It's
sorry.
just
I thought he
annoying.
was still the 2x MPL. I thought he had actual DPS.
Well, he's ER large to deny
but
the cap, right? He's there to deny a cap, not to
Yeah.
fight. And
DSC is just
Jesus.
trying to whittle down Kappa, or not Kappa, Theta, of which they're doing an all right job.
Viola grouping up
They're
here,
gonna get
just on the FC side. So they're about to come in
Vile's
towards the
giving it
center.
up. I don't know what Vile's doing, but they're just backing off of Theta.
Yeah, they're waiting.
I mean,
They're waiting for the
Darwin's
FC.
useless, but the Corsairs also useless, so it's a pretty even
Yep.
fight
Yep. I agree.
on Theta.
Yep.
Oh yeah, true. I think Basalt and Adeus are just having their own little
decap.
private lobby over there.
They decapped it, but it's not enough. They need to get the cap, and they need to get it soon because they're so far
As
behind.
soon as DSC,
Oh, go see Leprechaun. Where was that?
what's that?
Oh no!
Oh,
he
in-
got backshot.
Oh, backshot, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, where did
Oh,
Ghosty
back
hammer
torso,
from?
back torsoed under the bridge, just outside of the center. Yep. They were all
that
moving
is
over there.
a huge loss, but
Oh, it's-
Oh,
honest,
streaks.
like
Oh, shit, I didn't
60%.
see it. It's streaks, not. Oh, okay. That's why.
Oh, he goes down. Okay, Chicken Man's dropping down. This is the play right now. He's either gonna die or get a kill. It's right behind Lizzie. He's in his butt. He
I
gets him- gets
I
him
think
all
he's
the
gonna
time.
die.
We'll
We'll
find
see.
out.
However, DSC needs to walk up now.
He's trying to
Chicken
jump
Man's
up.
back
and
in.
No, he's
out.
nearly legged him. Vile playing very carefully. And DSC are moving back up into the middle, though, off the back of this. They're starting to come back towards Theta. Any back shots here? Any back shots? No customers.
Oh, Scout Derek is in
Oh.
such a good spot.
Yeah,
Derek is just
Hammered
farming.
quick,
yeah. Derek is in a very good
He's
spot
going
there.
on.
Oh dear. So it's 2 mechs down to 1 of Vile, 2 for DSC. Chimera is open, very hurt in the CT, but Nyan is also weak on the torso there as well. Ghosty is
Ghosty's just getting hammered.
hammered, yeah,
With
I-
streaks. Can't
Just-
even fight back against
just getting
Chimera and
smacked.
Kong.
Yeah, the
and
push is on.
Selith and Derek.
Yep. The counter push there is back on now from Vile. It's coming back from Vile across Theta, back the other way.
Ooh, Neon drops Chimera.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
House looks like he's gonna fall though to
Hard.
south.
Nyan's torsos are basically going to be lopped off here any second now, which I assume is going to happen from Lizzie. Yep, there we go.
Neon
Lizzie, one
tap.
touch. Tap. Yep.
Lizzie drops Neon.
Oh,
Assault fighting
MPG
Auguste on Sigma.
on Sigma. There's a fire, but there's a support mech though over there. Something to help.
1 year large spider.
Well, I
Yeah,
suppose it's
Sid
something,
Rogers
right?
Coming in.
MPG's just been torsoed. Ooh,
I think this is a Vile win.
It's starting to stack towards
Definitely
Vile now.
Vile.
Yeah, big time. Assault finishes off Deus over the
Vile
back.
Shut down. Vile shut down.
Did he?
Vile
Oh,
not
I completely missed
He's
that.
still
Shut down.
alive.
Open CT. MPG was not quite able to finish him. I think you should have gone side torso there.
Oh,
shuts
yeah,
down.
there we go.
MPG cooks
CP,
himself.
MPG,
Even,
CT.
I mean,
Lizzie's just
Vile's
sitting
about
here
to
and
get
waiting
Gamma.
now.
I mean, I
Bowser,
think even
Assault
if he
and
got
Stim.
that, it still would have been lost.
Bowser's just
Yeah.
out here, just well, annoying Basalt, and well, yeah, slowly killing him off. I guess until Lizzie gets here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good try. I mean, they made it a lot closer than I thought they would. But yeah, I just don't think it's a good strat against a team that's just as good or better than you.
Yeah.
You saw what happened when they
and
tried to take data. It's just
yeah, and I think you were right on the money. I was right about DSC doing the strat, and you were right about Vile just knowing it's coming and setting up a picture perfect counter for it.
yeah. You just play that.
They kind of weren't
FC
ready
Theta
for them to
Sigma.
come back to Theta initially, but in the end, it kind of worked out all right.
Yeah. They definitely like they were pretty patient about it though. Like
Mm,
and you
that's
saw
true.
eventually they rotated that Crusader. Up
Yeah,
on
well,
that
they
high ground. That
waited.
was kind of like when the game was over.
Yeah, they waited. Vol waited till their 4 mechs came around that sort of that Epsi side together to actually then move towards Theta. I wonder. I feel like if that large spider, like the idea was to cap Epsilon and then run back to that Caldera spot in it potentially. I wonder
Yeah.
if that was the thought process there.
However,
Yeah.
Vile absolutely read that for filth and sent a flea just to immediately capture, just to immediately deny Stim.
Yeah. I definitely think that you're right on the money. That probably was the play. Was that they planned on the spider getting Epsi and then denying it perpetually.
Yep.
And when that didn't work and they called that wasn't gonna work, they tried for Theta as like a backup plan, and it just wasn't enough.
So
Damage numbers. What do we have?
Oh yeah, damage.
Yeah.
Ooh, Lizzie getting 996 in the Stone Rhino.
Disgusting.
Jesus.
That's a
What
lot.
was that build?
Standard
three,
10s.
three plasmas,
10s
quad
plasmas,
10s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the DACA. Yeah, just laying into them when they try to force Theta like that. Absolutely disgusting. Well played, Lizzie.
Yep. Basalt getting 557 in the Dire, of which him and Adeus were just sparring the whole match. They were just off in their own little world.
Private lobby. Yeah.
Basalt actually walked all the way to Sigma.
Yep. He fell off, jumped off, and then went for a wander. A little wander in the green fields, or the volcano-y
Are we
lava
going to drop 6?
Yes, we are. I'll flick over to the map strat because I've got to sort this out with these guys in the lobby. So if you guys want to have a bit of a doodle.
DSC will pick what map, and Vio will pick what side they're going to play here.
Yes, that is correct. And then they do that for both. So Team A, Team A chooses a map. Oh, so Vile chooses, sorry, let me start again. DSC chooses a map. Vile chooses a map. Vile chooses the side. DSC chooses the side.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
So-
map strat is up. I'll get these guys to sort their sides out. But we're at least going to another drop at the very bare minimum.
Yeah, how do we clear all? Can't remember. It's like this button.
Yep. Need to step away for
So-
one more second again. Sorry, I drank too much water.
Good. So DAC kind of set up kind of what Tios had talked about, like this. They actually had this spider in H8, which was interesting, and planned on playing, Kappa, Gamma, and then either Sigma or Epsi. I think normally it had been Sigma, but I think the spider was supposed to sneakily grab Epsi and then maybe jump back up somewhere and then deny it with the air large. I'm not 100% sure, but Vile kind of read them like a book and positioned majority of their stuff in kind of like here where they can watch Sigma or Theta, and they had the Flea doing the rounds on the back end, not falling for the bait and trying to go for Gamma, but instead playing defensive, making sure Epsi didn't get taken early. And when DSC made this rotation, once they realized they weren't going to be able to get Sigma or Epsi onto Theta, they were just kind of stuck out in the open with mechs that weren't great for being there, and and Vile just kind of walked up the onto the high ground in F7 E7, and Lizzie farmed with those AC10s, which is just like the perfect mech at the perfect range, and got 900 summon damage, right? Almost 1,000.
Okay, so we're going to HPG and then Frozen. These guys are picking at the moment. Just sorting this out in the lobby with them. Team 2, so DSC, Team 1, and then DSC pick side 2. Okay. Right. So we're going to go to HBG again. We're going back there, man. Now,
Same size.
same size. Yeah, it is same size, isn't it? Yeah, true.
And then what did they pick for the 7th map if we get there?
Frozen City. They haven't sorted the
Frozen.
sides out yet, though.
So Vile chose Frozen and DSC chose HPG.
And okay, but this time for Frozen, DSC choose Team 1. So I don't think they'll push it if we get there. Yeah, I think they're going to play a more standard game with the better side. Yeah, I think that this HPG is gonna be interesting because I don't think DSC will do the same thing. I think they're probably gonna play it more standard. So 2 standard decks. I really doubt that Vile will push now after we've seen all these maps. I don't think they're gonna switch up anything. I really think it's gonna be 2 standard decks, and we'll get to see what these teams are made of. Can DSC beat them in a straight up even control game?
Do you think DSC will go more left? More of the put someone up on the left as opposed to sort of stacking more over here this game. So more sort of standard-ish, I guess. Yeah.
I do think they'll play it more standard. Yeah, I think they'll probably have the overcharge still. They'll probably play on the low ground maybe in like Delta 5, and they'll probably look to control Theta with it if they need to because it can rotate fast under there, and. We'll see. I have a feeling that there will be at least a skirmish on Theta because Vile took that Warthog last time, which is amazing for controlling Theta because it's kind of slow. That's its weakness as a light mech, but it packs a punch. So I think we are going to have a bit of skirmishes on Theta, and I think it's going to be a very standard control game for both sides. I could be wrong, but that's just what I envision.
Do you put 2 or 3 on the wall as DSC?
I think it'll be 2.
Do you see a way where 3 on the wall would potentially work?
Absolutely, yeah. 3 on the wall can definitely work. If you have 3 on the wall and the enemy only has 2, you need to outtrade them and then rotate on the wall and look for one of their back caps. The easier wall to do that on, if you're Team 1, which is DSC's side, is to rotate to the Kappa one. So like if you walk, just make sure I'm showing the.
Yeah, draw the arrows. Make sure you're drawing.
Yeah, if you walk like this, and you get your traders up into positions like those, then you can grab Kappa, and then play Epsi Kappa, and then either Theta or Gamma, depending on what your opponent's doing. That's the most surefire way to do it if you have more wall supremacy. You can do it on the other side as well, where you walk up kind of what they did before, but that's much less natural to do, in my opinion, because you get more disconnected from your lights if they have traders like here that are shooting you while you're doing that. Your lights can't really be in this area down here. Compared to the other side, this is usually, sorry, I'll use purple. This is usually safe for Team 1's lights to be.
Yeah.
So it's much easier for them to stay connected to their traders.
Yeah, like that Echo 5, it's just a dead zone, whereas a bit more cover in and around Delta 4, a bit more you can sort of jump up around, move in, ramps, things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So unless they do the same sort of a really aggressive movement right away, I really doubt that they'll push the that side, the E6, like F5 side. They'll probably play for the outside Kappa if they do put 3 on the wall. I still think they're just going to put 2 on the wall, and we're probably going to see 6 mechs from both teams eyeing up Theta. And I'm pretty excited to see that. I don't think either team will hard commit for it, but I think we'll see skirmishes down there.
6v6 basement league. Basement only.
I know we're not supposed to root for sides, we're supposed to be impartial, but I
should both be rooting for DSC so we can get another drop. This
Exactly. I don't want DSC to win the set. I don't care who wins the set, but I want DSC to win this drop. I want to go to drop 7 so bad.
Absolutely. This has been great. That bear claw strat, and then what's so great about that's the first CS that map has been in, right? And when you have a new map like that, you can just pull out something like that nobody's seen, where you just are so creative and have really done your science on the map, and you just blow everyone's mind. And I was definitely having my mind blown there. I was very impressed by that strat and their execution of it.
But you can't really pull something like that on this. This is yeah, very much more
HPG, yeah, very
vanilla-ish.
much more.
Yes.
Yeah, figured
Everything
out.
that can be done on HBG has been scienced out, unfortunately.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe not everything. You never know. Still, there's a lot of things that can be done that me and you don't think of that maybe somebody else thought of, but yeah, probably not going to see anything too crazy. I think in the second drop of this map, I think if you had some crazy strat like that, you would have already used it, right? And while their strat was kind of like a little bit crazy, that aggressive push into F5, with the Shoutcat shutting them down, I definitely wouldn't put it anywhere in the league of that Bear Claw strategy.
Yeah. Yeah, that Bear Claw thing was pretty well scienced, well tested. Like, oh, okay. Kept
Of which it's a little interesting that DSC didn't choose Bear Claw a second time. Maybe they're thinking the same way you were, G, where it's like, okay, that worked. I don't think it's gonna work again.
Well, it's clearly also something that only works on one side, and if they pick the map, then I'm assuming that.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Vile. Yeah, if they chose Bear Claw, Vile would 100% be like, okay, yeah, you're not gonna get Team 2. We just can't allow that.
Yeah, you'd probably just change up one mech, and that'd probably be enough just to sort out that Shadowcat, and that'd be enough.
I really do think that there's so many ways to counter that strat if you know and it's coming ahead of time. But yeah, I'd be very surprised if we ever see that strat again from either of these teams.
Well, we've got Alpha Bravo here, relatively. Oh, actually, no, there is a there is an assault player in the Alpha this time for DSC. So yeah, it's and then Charlie. Yeah, it's definitely much more of the standard HPG business. So we definitely no special DSC funny business, at least going off the lances and the players if you're spreading your assaults out at this stage.
Yeah, I assume it's going to be a straight game. And obviously, I have to favor Vile at this point, watching how these matches have occurred. DSC's drops that they've won have been outcap and outsmart, not outshoot.
A little weird because Vile won HPG, right?
Yeah, but remember that DSC didn't do a normal strat. They did a very aggressive push up on the wall.
Yeah,
so I think that they're gonna do a normal strat, and
it's
we'll
just
see.
I don't know. It's just I would never pick a map that I had just lost, and I don't know. Maybe DSC has a second strat waiting in the wings, but it is a little odd to see them lose and then go, let's play it again.
I don't think it's that odd if you look at like how the maps have played out though. Like Bog was very close, and again, I think that if Vile didn't let that cap go, then they were not in a great position. I think that a Bear Claw, like we talked about, they just wouldn't get the same side, and even if they did, I think it's pretty easily counterable if you know it's coming. Like HBG is a very figured out map, and they didn't do a normal strategy on it. So if they wanted to play a straight game, this is the map you'd pick to do that, where you don't care which team side you get. And you're just like, okay, we've done our funky strats. Now we're going to do a straight trade game with you, and we'll see who comes out on top.
Well, the problem is that they can't pick the map and then pick the side they want to do a funky strat. So you couldn't go, hey, let's send us to Bog and play from the Team 2 side and do something different that Vile haven't seen, because we can't do that, right? It's just not possible to pick that. And Vile would not go to Bog, you wouldn't think, and they wouldn't go to Bear Claw either. So...
yeah.
Kind of no surprise we're back to HPG and Frozen. It makes sense for both teams. And I do think we're going to see a straight game.
Yeah, if we do get a Frozen game, I also think that will be a straight game. So potentially we get two very normal looking games from these two teams and see how they stack up against each other. Or one, that will depend on Vile. And
it depends on how this game goes. Yeah. Oh, I'd be keen to see what DSC would do, and if they would play a vanilla generic style Frozen game instead, or do they change the push up, right? Like put it all on the line and change a couple of things based on whatever they saw,
Yeah, I just can't imagine you do that after you see their deck with like beams and stuff. But yeah, no, I mean, again, these teams know each other better than I know them, so. They absolutely could go for a push, because maybe they think Vile would think the same thing I would. That oh yeah, there's no way they'd push again on Frozen with the better side. But we'll only see. We'll
The
see if we get to
mind
it.
games, man. The mind games, right?
Oh, the mind games are huge. There
Yep.
was a lot of mind games that happened last season. I could go into that for hours, but
Yeah,
nope,
100%.
focus on these teams. What do we
And
got?
speaking of, yeah, here we are. We are in it again. Drop number 6, Vile 3 wins to DSC's 2. And I've got my scoreboard backwards. You change that, sorry.
Yeah, I just fixed that. Give it a second.
Oh,
to
you
update.
fix it? Okay, sorry.
Okay, so on the Vile side, we have an Adder, a Shadow Cat, a Flea, an Incubus, a Stone Rhino, a Stalker, and an XEM. They've swapped which pilots are playing what, but other than that, it's the same strat. Or I mean, it's the same deck.
DSC side, different deck, definitely. The Overcharge is in there. Dolph is still there. Cyrus, I'm guessing that's Brawly, Phoenix Hawk, and the SR2, which I'm guessing is the Gaussier large thing again. So, yeah, it's going to be a pretty standard game, you'd think.
Yep, this looks completely standard to me.
Yep.
So this is it. We'll get to see.
And no, like,
this is a very
random-
balanced map as well.
Random little extra mech pick or something in there. I kind of thought maybe that might happen a little bit, you know, something slightly different, but no.
I think even map and even drop decks. So it's just going to be a matter of skill.
Yep.
Interesting.
will
Large
say
pulses
that-
on the Stone Rhino though. That's very interesting actually. Large pulses.
Yeah, Chimera ran the same thing
Last game.
as well. So I think Vile is definitely a lot more mid-range heavy compared to well, I mean, maybe, I don't know. They have it depends on where they put the longbow, because they have Neander in the Dire. Oh no, they have a Stone Rhino as well. Yeah, so DSC is definitely a lot more range heavy. But it looks like DSC is also making a very early play
for basement. Yep.
Theta.
Yep.
Yeah.
Careful,
So
a very
about
careful.
Maybe.
Very careful early play. Not a risky one.
Sh-
Very careful.
Shadowcat does not have ERPPC this time. It's got plasma.
Different player as well.
Difference.
Yep.
Because it can't harass the wall now. It can't harass the wall.
So DSC actually made a very interesting show of force where they didn't go for the cap until they had clearly scared off the Flea. That way they have more time to full cap, which I think is a very temperate and smart play, because everybody will be like, no, I want to get there first and I want to get the cap first. However, DSC playing it a little bit slower will probably earn them more cap time on Theta.
Oh, Stimmer's taken quite a bit of damage there, getting hit with Samia Large and the mag shots there from Leprechaun, already down to 85%, and an orange leg with the armor.
Selith is on the wall with the beam LMG Incubus, and that scares me because he's so far out of range. And for those of you who don't know, beams have a 600 optimal, so instead of a 1200 max, they have a 900 max. So beams are actually pretty poor at range.
Vile taking the basement.
Good call on that. He dropped immediately as you said that, and you're spot on. That was not the place to be. I think he was just up there for scouting mainly. Stuck around.
Yeah, Vile sends 4 mechs. They send Chimera and Derek. They have a Stone Rhino and a Crusader on Theta.
Yeah, 5 mechs.
And DSC just needs to get side caps that you just can't challenge that. Absolutely
we'll
cannot.
see. I mean, they have 5 mechs underneath right now. DSC could technically bring 6 if they bring that longbow down right now. They'd have 6 mechs. They could challenge it.
I still think they're outgunned by Vile though.
With the assault of the SR6, yeah, that Stone Rhino will guaranteed to have single heat sinks. You can shoot it twice or something. It's like 200, 250 damage. It's insane.
With the adder as well.
Yeah.
It's
I think DSC needs to start playing for side caps or back caps. However, Selith is sitting on their home cap. I think he's prepared for DSC to make a play like that, which is a little interesting to be one light down.
He's
but
just
when you
waiting,
have such a heavy control, does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, like they're winning the trades on DSC though.
He's just watching. He's just watching the gate, and you know why he's watching the gate? Because they're suspecting Stim to do some stinky shit. And look what's happening! That's exactly. Stim is looking, man. He's looking for it. He's looking for that angle, and he spotted Selith, and he's running away. So that's kind of thwarted the plan there from DSD.
I mean, DSC has a
Lizzie's
lot of time
taken-
to figure out. Oh, okay, this is huge though. Neon actually jumped across, and so they are going to push for Sigma. I think is going to be the play on the wall.
There will be a left
a
move.
little
Yeah.
interesting. Lizzie's going to start getting angled out here, of which he's already down to 64%. It is spread pretty well just by virtue of being a stalker, but
Yeah.
even then,
Lizzie definitely has to
it is
start
starting to
playing.
stack up over time.
Yeah, Lizzie's definitely going to have to start
XE
chilling at 60%. There's no two
XE's
ways about
not
that.
gonna. Yeah, I mean the Daryl's getting double teamed right now in the open, and gotta be careful not to bleed that armor. It's at enough range where it's not a
Ooh.
huge concern right now, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nine getting
gotta-
double teamed because
Neon
Basalt
is almost
Yeah.
open CT.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
but-
getting absolutely wrecked.
Basalt is actually
oh,
busy
which-
with other mechs too, by the way.
Which
Like
she's kind
yeah.
of being sold because I don't think DSC is doing anything else.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
so-
understand this play to have her push alone on that side of Sigma. Like Basalt isn't moving up.
Well, he's moved
on
up to the
either
right,
side.
but he's been shooting the guys underneath. He hasn't been. Well, I don't think he's got any angles on the traders up top. So, yeah, Nine's
don't
just
like
getting
this
double
split.
teamed.
I don't like this idea of sending your traders to different sides like this. I think this is like a surefire way to lose.
Oh,
I really
Nine
don't
is
like this.
very,
Chimera and
very
Derek
CT.
have-
Very CT.
Chimera and Derek have left Theta though, so maybe no.
Nine, one
it's-
touch. CT, one touch
Theta's
done.
almost full cap though, which
Yep.
means that at the moment somebody steps on it, Vile Mex will drop.
See, now this
Yeah,
is
this
a
looks
huge,
really
huge problem
bad.
for DSC. They've just lost one of their ranged traders on the wall, right? So this is a big problem.
Lizzie's almost gone though. Lizzie's almost dead. Stimrog is pulling up something cheeky. However, Leprechaun is waiting in their back. They
Yeah.
know.
Now,
They
I
know
don't
that
think-
there are two mechs.
They're just.
I
Oh,
would say
Chicken
that
Man's gonna jump
Conker's
up.
almost dead.
Chicken Man
Yeah,
gonna
he
jump
is.
up here. And where's Lizzie?
Lizzie
Lizzie
drops.
just drops.
Lizzie's not. Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Low,
Okay.
but not dead.
DSC needs to make a play now. Vile has 3 mechs in the back, almost 4. DSC needs to push Theta and take it now. They need to
Yeah.
kill Chimera immediately.
So DSC are
Stim's
moving
gonna get
now
picked.
across the middle, slowly but moving.
Stim has to get out now or he's dead. And
Yep.
He is gonna start
M
running.
needs to get out. Chicken Man needs to get out. Hollow needs to be on Theta fighting Chimera right
here's the
now.
pick, here's the
MPG and Windscape are jumping him.
Yep. Now Longbow and House need to go through this and be very, very quick about it.
Chimera is just spreading damage like a god, though. I don't know how he's living as long as he is. He's almost halved. He's halved.
op-
He's
He
down.
might have
Okay.
opened the Shadowcat leg maybe. Almost open.
DSC is taking Theta.
Okay, that's the pick they needed to bring this game back now though, because they will have 3 caps
th-
and it's even.
I think this is a fair trade, though, because, Vile sent all their mechs to the back,
Yeah, I-
expecting another Sigma play, and
It didn't happen.
and DSC capitalized on that perfectly.
Yeah,
and in
definitely
the-
Chimera out of position or his team out of position, one or the other.
Oh
but
no,
that
I
was
think
a
it
big
looks like
mistake.
it's Vile basement. Vile are not going to have a bar of
Vile's
this
about to
basement
run
shit.
in hardcore.
But DSC
Okay, well
aren't
then-
even near it.
This is fine though.
gone.
Basalt just needs to move up and they grab
Yep.
Kappa. That's the play. He
Yep.
needs to move up
Yep.
right now and they grab Kappa.
I think Stimrog's aware of that. I think he's going to get Kappa because Kong's gone. Kong is back over the middle now. Oh wait, no, Kong is in the center.
Yep. This is what you do.
If
Basalt
Yeah.
Stimrog
pushing
can get
across.
Kappa, this. Jesus Christ.
The X is in the middle,
it
and we've
faded.
got what a 60-70 ticket spread at the moment with that 3
Caps are
cap.
almost critical. Hollow and Windscape are walking. Yo, Hollow Windscape. This is not it.
No, this is
Oh,
not. This is
no.
not the go in
This is
time.
suicide.
This is not
This
the
is
go in
suicide.
time. No.
Oh, they're losing off of this.
House is walking in and getting a back shot, but even without
Yeah,
him,
Hollow's halved.
Hollow's just getting picked apart. Of which they saw how quickly Theta went up. I don't know why they thought that
Yeah.
was a good play.
Windscape could have gone out even he stayed, and this is House is gonna die too. This game's over now.
Dimrog has gotten Kappa.
Yeah, Windscape
I
gets
just don't think it
flagged.
matters. Because House is gonna go
Hmm.
down next. You can't just throw away for like 3-4 max like that. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
a gross misplay.
because what you
House
could have
is
done,
lagged.
because Vile kind of stuffed up a bit by not full capping Kappa. They've had the entire game to go back and deal with that, right? Like plenty of time.
Oh my god.
Oh, no,
Lizzie didn't see Chicken Man.
and Chicken Man didn't see Lizzie.
No, he did.
What? I did.
No,
He would
I don't
100% saw it. He
understand
just was
why
like,
he didn't kill him. Yeah, I don't understand.
I'm
Is it all just about the aiming for the cats?
even
But they're not
then-
going to get them.
DSC just doesn't have enough cap pressure to pull this out.
No, they can't win anymore. It's over. It's Vile's win.
Yeah,
I
3
honestly
caps,
think they
heaps of
had it.
X.
They had it if they just didn't suicide. Because you
Yeah,
can just
no,
send, you get Kappa and
think if
Sigma,
they
and so even
retreated
if
and
they go
just
for
held.
Gamma- Yeah, they just need to hold FC and Kappa and then play for Sigma once the enemy gets Gamma. Like, and
Which
that's
is
it.
not like DSC didn't have a clue. Theta went up at the speed of 5 mechs on it. Like
Yeah.
they should have known.
Yeah, whoever, that was definitely just a big mistake calling to go under on Theta like that.
Mm.
It was just straight suicide. Unfortunate way to end this game because honestly, I I thought that I don't know what the call is, but their direwolf kind of threw themselves away.
Yeah.
But then they got that pick on Chimera, it was super good. It brought it back. I actually think it was in their favor, and then they just throw it back again.
Because Kappa was an
unfortunate to
instant
see.
flip, right? So DSE would have instantly flipped Kappa because it was completely slithered. Yeah. So and if you
Yeah.
didn't go under, just stay on the outside, let Vile sit on Theta, and literally he said, just keep running around the outside at that point. Just go Cap. Just run around Cap.
100%. 100%. Unfortunate, but still a good match. I would say a great match and still a good drop.
All
But
right,
just,
damage numbers.
pull the
Let's have a
thread.
look.
Kong getting 661 in the XE, Chicken Man getting 609 in the Viper. Chicken Man has just been doing phenomenally in that mech, just getting absurd amounts of damage in a skirmish 40 tonner. Simra getting 68 in the Jenner, spent the whole match running around capping. But really, that's the only exceptional one there. Lizzie getting 512. Neon getting 360 in the Direwolf. I don't know. I feel like Neon Dare was kind of sold. Like, I feel like she was just told, run in, and
Yeah, I mean, you
nobody
can never
helped
know
her.
if that was her own decision or a call, but it was definitely a mistake, especially because they were
Yeah.
winning trades against that Stalker and Exy. Like, I think you just push the Kappa side together, and you're gonna just outshoot the Stalker and Exy whenever they peek out on you, right? As the Stone Rhino and the Direwolf. I don't understand like pushing that side by yourself and letting them 2v1 you. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
All right, the map strat is up. If you want to have a quick doodle as what just happened there, and then we can round out what has been one of the better series and close that I've casted in a very long time.
Excellent series. So basically, it was just a standard game from both sides. Vile posted up a Stalker like back here, and their Xe up here. Both of the are large. Stone Rhino with the large pulses like in here, there to control Theta. And then on the other side, DSC put the Direwolf here, Stone Rhino here, and then Overcharge. I think it was started on this ramp actually. Basically mirrored between the two teams, where they both have that assault mech that's like on the low ground to help control Theta and kind of mid range. And then the two traders on the walls. The DSC mechs were actually out trading, which makes sense. At those ranges, a Direwolf and Stone Rhino should absolutely out trade an Xe and Soccer on the wall. But then DSC made this play after they lost control of Theta. I think they maybe panicked a bit too much, and the Direwolf pushed by itself in the open like this. And Vile played it perfectly, where the Xe came over this way and the Stalker looked that way, and they just isolated that mech and basically killed it for free.
Very quickly.
So DSG's response to that was, the Stone Rhino pushed up here, and Stim, and I think it was Chicken Man, made a great play that distracted them, made them think they were going hard for Sigma. So Vile's mechs pulled back out of Theta to go fight on Sigma, but then Chicken and Stim excellently withdraw it at the perfect time, and they grabbed Theta and ganked Chimera to bring it back to 7-7 mechs on the field, right? They ganked Chimera like right here. And then it looked really good for DSC because they had Theta control, had FC Gamma, and the Stone Rhino was rotating on the wall. And Vile ended up going everything underneath to get Theta back. But at that point, you kind of even saw it. Chicken could just jump up and kill the Stalker with Stim, grab Kappa, and you play the outside caps. You can send something to just one mech to Sigma. You can protect Gamma from up on the wall if something has enough range safely. You're going to have Kappa and Epsi for sure. And you can just play a slow game from there while they're kind of stuck underneath on Theta, and you're going to be able to shoot them whatever exit they leave. But instead, they sent 3 mechs underneath to basically just die, seemingly unprompted. I'm not actually sure why they did that. But big mistake, and that was it, because they basically just threw 3 mechs away and got nothing.
I like it.
I am
like it.
sad that we are not seeing.
I really wanted to see that last drop as well. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I felt like it could have gone to 7, man. I really, really do. Really do.
Yeah, but damn, it was a good match. I loved some of the strats we saw. Some huge plays from individual players as well.
I do hope we see these teams face off again in the grand finals.
Yeah, he even had some banter going on in the chat between them. I think, really, really fun. And I do hope that we see a rematch. I have to be honest, I think with the fact that they won drops off of like really creative kind of one-time use strats, beating Vile in 2 best of 7s, yeah, that is gonna be really tough. Very unlikely, I would say, even if DSC does get back there. But definitely like the only team that can do it. I don't think there's another team in this tournament that has any chance of beating Vile in 2 best of 7s. So
Yeah.
we'll see if
And
DSC makes it back. I hope they do.
They just gotta cook up 14 wild strats.
I mean, but they went toe to toe with this last drop. It was very even, like it was even map with even drop decks, and they had a chance to win. It was just like both teams made one blunder, and it was like even. Actually, DSC was winning, and then they just made that extra blunder that lost them the game. So yeah, I think they can do it, but it's gonna be hard if they make it back there. But yeah. I'm definitely gonna be here for it if they do. I can't wait to watch it if that happens.
Absolutely. Anything? Any last words to add, lads?
I think that's all of it.
Yeah.
No,
cool,
that's it for me too.
All right. Well, there's another game in approximately 3 hours. Yeah. Who is that? I have no idea because I'm not casting it.
Arksea Corsairs versus Fjord, if memory serves.
No, it's 10.
Sorry, no.
The other guys.
5J. 10th Lyran Guard Revenants. I forgot. They're not 5th Jag Dragoons anymore. Yeah. 10th Lyran Guard Revenants versus Fjord Visigoths.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that is correct. Yeah. So that's in 3 hours. Guys, thank you all for tuning in. All the viewers there watching from wherever you are in the world. Thank you too for joining me this morning. I do appreciate that. And well, yeah, that kind of rounds out the. I mean, we got a damn good set of games today. No one can be upset about that. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much for casting with me, Bowser and TS. I was happy to be here. And
Bowser, you calling me Bowser? Oh Jesus!
I'm sorry, Ash.
I don't know who's going to be more upset at that, him or me. No, I don't give a shit.
Oh no!
Oh, I love it. Awesome. All right, thank you all for tuning in. 3 hours. MWO Comp will be back. I'm not casting. Someone else is. So anyway, see you guys then. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day, evening, or night.